Under the same moon, we share the love, embracing the differences like hand in glove. Spreading peace and joy, it's a beautiful sight. Together we shine in each other's light. United we stand in love's pure might. Watching the world share in love and light. Hearts beating as one in our peaceful flight. Colors of harmony painting the night. United we stand in love's pure might.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Watching the World. We have a great show for you tonight. We have a special guest with us. She goes by the name of MamaFlips. She always adds special information to the show. She gives a different spin, a different twist when it comes to valuable information. So we look forward to having her on. We've covered so much this week, especially we covered the war in Iran. Even though people don't want to call it a war, we call it for what it is. There's some heavy artillery going back and forth, all sorts of injurious things. So we're going to get into that tonight. We're going to talk about the father, if you can call him that, down in Louisiana that took the lives of his children. 8 children, 7 actually came from him. We're also going to get into the economy and why are people struggling so much and what can be done. And as you know, I've been covering Sean Diddy Combs, so Mama Flips actually attended that trial with me for 9 weeks. There has been recent proceedings, especially with Sean Combs actually suing NBC along with Peacock from Fort Dix, where he's currently located. So we're going to get into all of that. We're going to bring on now our special guest. She's always on point. We have with us now Mama Flips. Welcome in. How are you? I think you might be muted. It's okay, though.
Thank you. I'm
Take
fine.
your time. All
Glad to
right.
be in. How are you?
Yes, indeed. One of the things we're going to talk about tonight is the Southern Poverty Law Center. A lot of people are so amazed by what's happening. It's like a sham of what's happening with that. So we're going to get into that too. Um, what do you think in regards to the current affairs in Iran? Do you have any thoughts on that?
I mean, I thought that we actually was in a peace treaty. Weren't we at peacetime? There's no more bombing. I thought there was a peace treaty that was conducted. We had ceasefire, right? So I expected us to be a ceasefire. Then I thought that the leader of the free world said that once the ceasefire is over, he's going to continue his action. And I believe there was another country that asked him to extend the peace conference. Was it Jordan? One of his pals, I believe. I think one of the groups that gave him that. Remember that film, that ceremony when there was this big globe where he was touching it and he was surrounded by a bunch of leaders worshiping him. Last administration, last time he ran the free country. I figured one of those boys must have called him and say, "Hey, let's continue to work on the ceasefire." So I thought we were in ceasefire right now.
Yeah. The president actually came out today. We're going to cover it tomorrow morning, but he basically said, listen, gas prices are up, but do you want gas prices up or would you rather deal with Iran dropping a nuclear missile in one of our states? Those were pretty much his words. So he's saying you have to choose your poison.
I prefer gas prices to be down.
Really?
Yes, yes, sir.
So you're not concerned about Iran and what could have happened?
Nope, not concerned at all. Because you know why I wasn't concerned? Because he
Tell us.
wasn't concerned. See,
How so?
he wasn't concerned. You see, we have several clips in which he says that I would never go to war with Iran. That a leader that goes to war with Iran is a weak leader. That a leader that goes to war with Iran, they just want to build up their population number. It's because they're in the middle of a criminal case or indictment, or he dragged former President Barack Obama during his election when he said, "Watch out, he's going to take us to war." So we're there. So until I see evidence that Iran, Ukrainian numbers was high, and that they plan on actually sending a missile our way, then I would appreciate if he gets the gas prices down. Thank you, because my gas bill is high and the
You know,
pump is high.
the president says that we're in this mess because of Barack Obama
Really?
giving them tons of money, billions of dollars, and they use that money to advance their uranium nuclear program. That's why now they have 60% enriched uranium, and
Mm,
they have roughly 973 pounds of it. What do you think about that?
wow, that's amazing. Now, when he was in office, the last time he was in office, none of this was discussed, right? Because I think it was too close to him criticizing Barack Obama during his election, during his campaign about Iran. So I think that he felt possibly his supporters would have remembered all his words, right? But he thinks that we are stupid, right? That the American people are idiots, right? So he thinks enough time has passed by when he criticized former President Barack Obama about wanting to go to war with Iran. He thinks enough time has passed by that he could use the same talking dog whistle, right? To say that's why he's going into war. You see, he said that he wasn't going to go to war to Iran. He said that only failing leaders, failing presidents will pursue that. He said that he's the president of peace. He said he's going to take care of American people. He's going to mind his business. He said all that. So now, unless he has a definitive proof that the Iranian government have uranium and they build a nuclear weapon, and that nuclear weapon was going to be headed our way, then I would like to have my gas prices back now. Thank you so much.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Have you heard the big debate that's coming out of MAGA in regards to the president of the United States saying that he wasn't shot in the ear?
Oh yes. Oh, my MAGA brothers and sisters. Yes. Hi. How you doing? Yeah, we knew that. Yeah, we knew that. We knew it was staged. We knew it was staged. The sad part of it is that one of your supporters, one of your brethrens, was unalived, right? And then you have two additional brethrens who was supporting him was hurt. Now, my whole thing is this. Now, I think that you guys would have voted for him anyway. That's just my thing, because most of you guys don't care anyway. So no, I'm not laughing at the unalivement of the MAGA brother who unalived. Respect and peace to his family, because I'm also a fellow survivor, and fellow survivors are people who has lost family members due to pew violence. So all respect for that. So the laugh is not to the tragedy or to a family, even though we are polar difference in our political views. I don't think anybody should be unalived. With that said, we all knew that it was staged. There's no way, there's no mark, there's no sense bleeding, there's no scarring, there's nothing. Come on. And then for him, as his weak behind, because he is weak, the only time I ever saw that he had strength was when he walked down the stairs when he was suffering from COVID, and it was a thing, and he was suffering from it, and he almost unalive at the hospital, and he walked from the steps of the White House to that helicopter. I know it took a lot of willpower to take those steps to the helicopter. That's the only time I saw this man have even a miniature of physical strength. But with that said, if he was pew, he wouldn't have stand up so quickly.
So, what proof do you have that he wasn't shot in the ear?
Because he's not talking about it. One content creator was saying, several people are talking about it, not me, but I was watching. The several people was talking about it, was like, wait a minute, he's not talking about it. He's not talking about he almost got unalived. That's strange when it comes to him, because he loves to speak. He loves to bring social media. He loves to bring examples. Also, there's been several photos of his ear. Even Rogan, which I think, are they friends again or not friends again? Joe Rogan, right?
Well, Joe Rogan actually came on to the White House to his show to the press conference, but
Oh, they're friends.
the president was pushing back on him.
No, but they're friends again. I'm just trying to figure out because Joe Rogan. I don't know which way he going, but even Joe Rogan was looking at his ears and was like, "Well, I don't I don't see I don't see nothing there." Like everybody who came close to the boy was like, "We don't see nothing there," so we know it's a lie. But here's the point, though: we know it's a lie. You guys know it's a lie. The difference is you guys don't care because you guys would have voted for him anyway. You guys still will vote for him today because you think it's okay for all of his shenanigans and his lying and his thieving and his backstabbing and his unintelligent decisions is okay as long as you got a guy there that you believe is meeting your needs. So yeah, I know it's a stage, but I don't think they care. Mm-mm.
Now, there was a FBI agent that went before the committee and they asked, "Hey, listen, was Donald Trump shot in the ear?" He couldn't say yes. He said, "Well, maybe he was hit by a piece of shrapnel or something to that effect." So, are you basing your ideas on that, perhaps?
I heard about this the conference the actual hearing in regards to the pew pew. The thing is, even I don't even understand what he said. He didn't say scrap. Excuse me. He didn't say a piece hit his ear. That's not what he said. He said I was hot because we got to be careful of the words because we're on social media in the ear that someone attempted to unalive me. There was I mean asinine situation going on, right? So we have to be careful of the word. So we got to go by his word. So no matter what the FBI said, no matter what anybody said, he doesn't agree. He hasn't come out and said that that's what happened. He said I was pewed in the ear. So we got to go by what he's saying. So I know that he's a liar because as a New Yorker, we know he's a liar because he's been lying for many, many years. He lies about everything. He used to call in the radio station under the name of David. What was his nickname that he used to call himself? David James or something like that. And used to say how great Donald Trump is and everything like that. So, to the Inquirer and different newspapers, that's just him, right? That's just Donald. He just used to do that. So we already knew that he was a liar. The proof that he lied is there's no scars. That's the proof. So I don't need the FBI or anybody else to tell me. We saw his ears several times. There's people been speculating about it. He hasn't talked about it. He hasn't said, "Woe is me. I'm still, I'm still strong." He doesn't talk about none of that. So we know it's a lie, and that's it. So yeah.
So, you were a sharp shooter, right, in the military, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I was.
So, what do you know based on the fact if he was shot in the ear, would it have affected his cartilage? What do you think about this?
Well, I mean, I am not a doctor, but I do know that you would have had a ringing in the ear. You wouldn't have been able to hear, okay? Because even as a military personnel, when you're on the rifle range, right, you have to have earplugs, right? So you know what it would have felt like if you have gotten hit, or even if it got so close to your ear, you would have known. You wouldn't have been. He wouldn't have been able to stand definitely quickly stand up and raise his hand. He would have been disorientated. And, the FBI or the Secret Service or the Secret Service would have had to lift him up. You know what I mean? He wouldn't have been able to just continue to move forward. Several things would have happened. And also, based on what the doctor says, the ear is the most sensitive part of the body. So if you get nicked, just think of yourself nicking your ear when you shaving, like when you shave and everything like that, or when you do something. Oh, prime example, my black sisters, even if my black sisters on the app, especially the MAGA black sisters, because I know some of y'all be coming after me because y'all pissed off. Remember when your mom used to press your hair with hot comb? Remember when our mom used to press our hair with a hot comb, and the hairdresser and a piece of the hot comb touched your ear? How dark and black the ear is, how painful it was to the ear, and how you would have that same mark in your ear for weeks on end. and how it would chip off and peel off and you would be in pain. That's what I'm talking about. And that's just a nick with a hot comb. Men, if you ever shaved and you nick your ear with a razor, you know what I'm talking about. There's no way. There's no way it happened the way he said it happened. So he's a liar.
Some people in the audience are saying that if he posed a real threat, right, from the audience, let's say maybe there was another person, they didn't really know who was doing what. Why would they have allowed him to stand up and say, fight, fight, fight? So what do you think about that?
Oh, it was all a game. Come on, it was all a game. I mean, the thing is, he's in office now. I don't even stress myself with his shenanigans. He felt that he was losing. He felt that a lot of people felt that Kamala Harris was really successful with the huge campaigns, with the many people that's showing up. We had millions of people calling in. We had different groups, even though our white brothers and our white sisters fooled us with these calls. I appreciate y'all though, but that the calls to support Kamala Harris is bold. We know that now because y'all voted overwhelmingly for Donald Trump. But he felt that there was a lot of stuff going on, right? And then he felt threatened. He felt like Kamala Harris had a really great chance of taking away from him. So he staged him and his people. They staged it. I mean, we all know what.
Well, how do you stage someone being killed?
I don't know. To be honest with you, there's so many stories like this, like from JFK to every single unalive, even Abraham Lincoln. There are so many different acts, people that feels that they need to do these horrific acts when it comes to unaliving these various presidents. So, in my opinion, if I think about it, I don't know if I would like to think, no matter how horrible this person is, I would like to think that they did not intend to unalive the person that was sitting in the front seat. I would like to think that. I would like to think. I mean, history will have to come and prove me wrong. Like, hopefully I live long enough. I would like to think that did not have any intention to unalive this guy. Right? I think that they did stage the incident in order to get him sympathy, but I don't think they intended to unalive him. Or I would give it this, because I don't know. There's nothing about the guy in the history of the shooter that indicate they even have any intentions. Like, he wasn't political. He was a loner, but he wasn't.
Well, he was a Republican, I believe, right?
He was a Republican, but they said that he made one payment, but he wasn't. He didn't have a journal, or that terminology where they have the journals where they put all of their crazy ideas and stuff like that in there, festo or something like that. He didn't have any of those,
Did
right?
manifesto. So let me ask you this. Let's break this down.
Before you finish, but if you finish, I just wanted to tell you.
Go ahead.
Let's just say that everything happened the way it did. Let's just say that this kid or this young or whoever this person was planning to unalive Trump, right? Let's just say it happened, right? And it all happened the way it did. I think that he used the opportunity to say that his life was in danger when his life wasn't in danger. Because it's possible that this guy did not want to unalive Trump. He wanted to unalive one of his supporters to make a point. Do you understand what I'm saying? But
that seems like a stretch, but I mean, I get what you're saying.
Everything is stress. I'm just saying, I'm not willing, no matter how horrible I think this individual is, I'm not willing to say that he would intentionally set this in place to unalive one of his supporters. I don't want to say that, because for me to say that that it was set up by him and his FBI agent, and they recruited this kid, and they said, okay, try to pew him and stuff like that. He wasn't a great shot. I'm sorry for using that word. He wasn't a great pew, right? So maybe he wasn't intended to hit him, and it was intended to hit the floor, but because he was a great pew, it hit the person. I'm saying to you, I'm not willing to think that they set this whole thing up from beginning to end to unalive one of his supporters. I just don't want to. I just don't think so. I do think it was staged. I think he probably used the opportunity, staged in a way where something happened, right?
Hmm.
Right? The incident happened. He did not get hit, but yet he used the opportunity to say that this person tried to unalive him and hit him and said that he was being his ears were impacted. I That's as far as I'm willing to go on this thing when it comes to it. I just it's hard pressed for me to say that this him and his people like he knowingly, even though it's not hard. It shouldn't be hard because we saw January 6th, right? So I guess I'm just giving him a more grace than I should. The fact
So,
is that if it was staged, it was like January 6th. Okay,
okay, so let's unpack it because I think people that are saying it, it's kind of it gets stuck at some point. Let
it
me tell you.
does because you don't want to. You
So
don't want to.
so let me put it this way, right? The
Yeah.
president of the United States has had a lot of people turn their back on him. So a lot of his supporters have, like even
Some
his attorney has switched gears because the feds came in, and he started telling. So under
which
the theory,
which oh
Michael
Michael,
Cohen,
oh, that
right?
was from
So
before.
so he's like a rat. That's what they say, he's a
Michael Cohen's
rat.
not
So
a rat.
anyway, I'm
Donald
just
Trump is a
saying.
rat against
Notice I'm saying this is what they're saying.
him.
Okay,
Okay.
so in order for this theory to work, you would have to say that he's going to trust the Secret Service to work along the shooter and to stage this whole event. How would he do that and get all these people to work with him and then turn around and not have to worry about them going to tell the real story, to write a book or to become famous or to get some sort of deal? What do you think about that?
I think it's possible because of what happened with January 6th. In January 6th, what happened is during the investigation, all the Secret Service deleted and all thousands of messages. They destroyed their phones and they deleted thousands of messages. All the Secret Service people. We don't know what happened that day. The only reason why we were able to find out what happened is that a young lady in what's her name, April, came out and told us because she was the chief of staff to the vice president chief of staff spoke, but she also spoke. What was she? She was the lawyer in the White House, and she came and she spoke to. God, I can't remember the name. It just happened the other day. I'll testify. But what I'm saying is that it's possible because a lot of people is very loyal to him, right? And all his Secret Service, he only had the Secret Service of people that he's known for many years. And yes, it's definitely possible for them to set it up if that's the case. He gets loyalty from people. I don't know how he does it, but he does it. So yeah, it's definitely possible. There's a lot of people that would protect them. You know what I mean? So yeah,
So do you think the shooter, you think he was involved in the plot?
I don't know if the shooter was involved in the plot because what happens and one of the things we learned as pew pew violence advocate is that you get a lot of these lonely kids and then you indoctrinate them through messages to videos to internet, right? That's how a lot of these massive uh, people who goes to these schools, if you look in their background, you see that they go through the internet, they see a lot of the information that's there, and they believe it. So it's possible. Again, I'm a conspiracy nut, but I'm not a conspiracy nut because I want to see the facts. So all I could say, in my opinion, is that he's not talking about it. Somehow, some way, it wasn't an attempt on him, right? He knows it. He found out about it. He wasn't injured, and he just used it to the benefit of the campaign. Now, did he work with the Secret Service and the young man and all that? I don't know. It may not even have been him. It may have been someone else who attempted this entire incident, right? And it was staged. And then he found out about it later. And then he's like, okay, I don't want no investigation because I know somehow, some way it's going to be tied back to me. You know what I mean? So I just know that he was not seriously hurt. His ears was not damaged. He wasn't peeping in the ear, and we're here now. That's what
Do you think it was his blood or you think it was some sort of blood capsule?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. We get into too much in the weeds. I'm not willing to go that far. I'm just willing to say that something happened. He wasn't hurt, right? and he's not talking about it. So something happened. That's as far as I'm willing to go.
So my final question is: do you think the man actually died, or you think he was some sort of actor?
Oh no, I think he unalive. Oh my God, now you getting into that.
No, no, but listen, but here's my
Crazy.
point.
No, I didn't even think of that. I didn't even think about that.
But
That, he,
what I'm saying,
that his friend
when
that he's
people come up with these
somewhere.
theories, they have to think it through. You have to look at, I mean, everybody's embracing the concept, but then when you start asking these questions, it starts to look a little weird. And I haven't been able to get anybody to really tell me,
No, I'm
you
telling
know,
you exactly
how
what.
this is staged. You know what I mean? So
No,
that's
I'm
all.
telling you my opinion. My opinion. I'm not a conspiracy nut, so I can't go as far as he called himself John Barron. Oh, after his son. But he used to call himself John Barron when he called the radio station. That's in promoting himself. Okay, so I am not willing to go that far. I'm not willing to go that far. I think that he took advantage of the situation. I don't think his life was seriously in jeopardy. Okay, I think he took advantage of the situation. Even if everything worked out the way it did, I don't think the person intended to unalive him. You understand what I'm saying? Because if they did intend to unalive him, they would have hit him, right? I think the person may have created a situation that he took advantage of. Okay, when I say stage, I mean stage in the fact that he wasn't actually injured and he used it as a campaign rallying cry to say, "Oh, they try to unalive me. The Democrats, the progressives try to unalive me. I'm still strong and I'm still your people." That's him. With that said, so the ear thing is staged. But if I were to go into the conspiracy bag, I would not say that the person that was pew pew is still alive. I wouldn't say that. I would say that some people set up this situation in order to make him appear a hero, right? He didn't initially knew what was going on, but the investigation told him what happened. He didn't want them to continue the investigation because he did not want it to get back to him. I would say that much. I would say if it would have gone that far, because I really don't think that this man is insane enough. But then we have to go back to January 6th and see everything that he did on January 6th. I think that he may have had a few thoughts about it, but I just don't see him intentionally.
Hey, what is
Again,
going on here?
oh, you can't hear me? You can't hear me? Am I blocked?
Keep going. I can hear you now. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just don't see it. I mean, I know he's a horrible human being, but I just don't see him setting up this situation where he would have one of his people unalive. Unfortunately, I can't see it. So I could see that he took advantage of the situation. I could see that somebody may have done it, right? And then he found out later that someone may have set it up. But I just don't see him doing it from the beginning. And I'm sorry, I'm just not there.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. No, I
that's
just wanted to see how all the pieces of the puzzle come together to
I
substantiate the
don't think he
theory.
was hurt. I don't think he was hurt. I don't think he was intense. I don't think he was hurt. I don't think the pew pew hit him. That's the part where I said
So, according to the FBI agent that went before the committee that said maybe a shard hit him in the ear, does that take away from the fact that he was shot in the ear?
yes, it took
If
away.
it happened,
Yes, it took it away because you should have said it. You could have said it. He could have made it so clear. He could have said it. It would have been a very simple conversation. Someone attempted my life and my ear got injured.
a photographer took a
That's it.
picture of the bullet while it was in the air, right?
No, I did not know that. So where did the
Yeah,
bullet go? The bullet went into the supporter that was unalive.
pretty much. I guess that's what the theory is. Yeah, but there's actually a photo of it. All right, so I get it. We're gonna go back to what we were
Anyway,
discussing.
the person that called me dum dum, I'm supposed to be nice with I would hate to reference any of your family members, so because this is Mel's show, but no, I'm thinking of you.
Okay, all
All right,
right.
that's it.
So getting back to Barack
I
Obama,
think I think I'm being graceful. Don't you think I'm being graceful by not throwing in a lot of conspiracy stuff and then blaming their loved one because they love him so much that it would be fun for me to like throw all type of allegations on Donald Trump, but I don't do that. I try very hard to keep it manufacturally, to think straightforward and give my opinion. But yeah, I am not one of those conspiracy nut that's going to do that because I don't like your guy. I'm not going to throw all kind of unwarranted shade towards him, right? Without facts. I may have facts that you don't agree with. We may disagree on the facts, but I could call up and say, oh, the reason why I believe this is because of this and because of that. But I'm not one of those conspiracy nuts that's just going to throw stuff out there because I dislike Trump. Mel would not want me to do it, and I'm just not that person. All right. So anyway,
That's fair. Fair enough.
yeah, thank you, Mel. You were saying.
So let's get back to Barack Obama. The president of the United States says that Barack Obama, he really created all this mess that we see in the United States today in regards to Iran or around the world. But he says Barack Obama sent them an airplane full of billions of dollars, cold cash. In fact, I think they went to all of these banks around D.C. area, Maryland, to get all this cash to give them. And they basically took that money and created a better nuclear program. So what do you say for that? That's what the president says.
I read up a little bit about the negotiation that happened with I think with, is it Kerry? He was the one that negotiated the nuclear plan with Iran.
John Kerry. Okay, go ahead.
Kerry under former President Obama. According to my understanding, what he did is they had a lot of sanction, right, against Iran, where they had access. They actually had.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Guys, can we hit the like button, share, subscribe, and can you please tell them your channel? Thanks.
Oh, MamaFlipSlots channel. That's MamaFlipSlots. Me and my mom, we have a slot channel. I created it for her, and we play slots. Please come over and join, so you can see us, play slots and have fun. I also have MamaFlipLive. I only have 216 subscribers because we knew, but I like to have people come and join my slot channel because we're trying to build it to over 10,000 subscribers. So yeah, so it's Mama Flip Slots. Stella, please add it. Oh, you did already. Thank you. I was about to say, Stella, please add it. Hey, Stella already added.
Stella's a heavy hitter. Yeah,
yes.
She's good.
It's my understanding that the United States at the time had a lot of sanctions with Iran. One of the reasons why Iran came to the table to do the Iran nuclear deal is that former President Barack Obama actually was able to lift some of the sanctions in order to get that deal. It was a very complicated deal in which Iran says that they will stop the building the uranium and they would have inspectors come and check throughout Iran. I don't know if it was once a year, once a couple of years, they would actually come. Before Trump started talking about this whole justification for this war, there was no evidence all this time. That's during former President Barack Obama, Donald Trump first 4 years, Biden years, Donald Trump now, that Ukraine had a nuclear weapon. It's almost like when Bush had us go to war after 9/11 because he claimed there was nuclear weapons, and there were none. There's no evidence as of today there's an actual nuclear weapon. So until he could provide us with evidence of nuclear weapon, I don't know why we're having this conversation right now. He went into war as a result of the other country that asked for his support. You understand what I'm saying? And that's why we are in this war now. To justify this war, he's talking about how we were in danger. Why weren't we in danger when he was there the prior 4 years? Why did he criticize former President Barack Obama and said that he was going to war with Iran? If he did, he should be blamed and he should rotten president. He's a horrible human being. And why did he do that? Like, why did he always criticize all the presidents prior to him? We wanted to go with Iran to war with Iran. Why did he say he would never do it? Like, come on, people. Like, stop playing with me. You guys know has his words. I mean, there's clips. I'm not telling you guys anything that he hasn't said. If there were legitimate nuclear weapon, he would show it. The man is a braggart. He's a braggart.
But he's also a man of God, though. Now he's following Jesus.
Why is Mel? I have a bad cold today. I'm sick. Like, you see, this is why I'm a lot calmer today. Why are you trying to rob me up? Did we ever find out which church the son of Baba go every Sunday? Did we find out the church yet?
He
Did we have
goes to Paula White's church.
oh Paul? Oh, the
Hol-
witch, the
the
crazy.
holiness. So listen, let's take a quick minute. I want to give a shout out to Jerome.
Before we move on, he is not
Oh my
Christian.
God.
He's not. No. You brought it up. He's not Christian. He doesn't understand the Bible. He stood in front of a church with the Bible upside down. The man is the devil in sheep clothes. And I need to let it go. Let the narrative go because he's not going up. He's going down. Go ahead, Mel.
No, we're not moving on. I just want to say Jerome just gifted 10 memberships. Shout out to you,
Thank you,
Jerome.
Jerome.
And you
Yay.
actually did that before. So that's 20 memberships you gifted, man. Jerome is
Thank you.
amazing. Thank you so much. Shout out to Jerome.
4714. How are you? Thank you so much for that. Thank
Thanks
you.
for supporting the channel. It means a lot. You know, we have a lot coming up.
He's not.
So much to do. So thank you.
Not a man of God. He's not a man of God. He's not. Let it go.
Well, wait a minute now. We can't. Can you really question a man's relationship with his God? Can you really
Yes,
do
with
that?
all his actions, yes, you can. Yes, you can. You
Explain.
can't. The man
Explain.
is evil. The man is evil. He's done a lot of evil stuff. I mean, first of all, how many wives did this fool have? How many wives did he have? How many times did he cheated? The man, the godly man who actually, and I love Storm, who actually had an illicit affair with a corn star after Melania was pregnant with his latest child. Like, the man is a snake. His best friends was Jeffrey Epstein. Like, come on, let's stop playing. If you guys want to say, oh, he changed now, who am I to not respect the fact that this guy decided he was going to change his life, and he went to God, he went to a priest and a pastor, and he asked for forgiveness to his Father and Lord and his Savior, and he asked for forgiveness, and he is now a new man. I still will say bullshit. I would still say bullshit. I said, because he's not acting like he's a Christian person. He's an idiot. Sorry. Oh my God. No, I didn't say that. I apologize, MAGA brothers and sisters. I should not have said that. I'm wrong. Please accept my apology. I should not use the I word on the internet. I will only say that he is not Christian. He doesn't act Christian. He doesn't care about Christianity. Prime example is the fact that he's warring with the Pope. Christians won't do that. Catholic won't do that. You see, the Pope is the highest leader of the Catholic Church. So even if you don't agree with the Pope, a person who believes in God, in the church, in the Holy Father, would not be trolling our Father, the Pope. You see how that works?
Why is the Pope giving the president such a hard time? Is it because he had appeared in a picture to be similar to Jesus?
The Pope is giving him a hard time because he feels that a lot of his actions is ungodly. Like, for example, he's not feeding the hungry. He's cutting up benefit from veterans. He's cutting up breakfast from kids. He was accused, and it was proven, to take away funding from cancer. All these programs that we have to help and support people, Donald Trump and his administration removed millions of dollars away from them in order to get rich himself, in order to support the current war that we're in, and support all these different programs, and to give the filthy rich tax break. He's just not being very godly. So he doesn't like the fact that the Pope is looking at him and say, hey, you're not a godly person. So that's why he's attacking the Pope. And the Pope has a right to say that, because the Pope, who is a Christian, who is a loving Catholic man, who served his God for many, many years, could look at the charlatan and be like, yo, you are fake. You're fake. You're not a Christian. You don't care about people. And he could say that. Donald Trump don't like that, so he's attacking the Pope.
The Pope says that if you engage in war, if you promote war, then your prayers are not heard by God. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't believe in wars. I don't like wars. Let me say, I personally think we should only go to war if we are directly attacked, or if like, because we talked about this before, if it was proven that large amount of human being was being unalived, and we have to go and support them and help them, and we have the power to do so, then I can understand the needs to defend. So when it comes to me and war, it's about defending yourself, defending your people, defending others. I can understand if there's a clear plan, if there's proof, then I can understand that. My problem with this current war is there's no proof of that. There's none. It's a power play. We have no proof. We have no evidence of anything. You told me the other day that Donald Trump threatened an African country that if they unalive like thousands of Christian, I think what Christians or thousands of people because of their belief. Would I agree with America going in there and doing something? Yes, I would agree because we're saving lives, right? If there's evidence of genocide, that's the word genocide, then yes, I would agree. I don't like war, but we can't allow people to just be. We can't allow dictators and to destroy their country and blah blah blah. So I understand that. So with the, I think the Pope, in my opinion, I think the Pope will think differently if the Pope realized or felt there was a real danger. And that's the problem that a lot of people, a lot of us have. There's no real danger out there. There's no nuclear weapon. You're doing this because you want to, because you want to support this other country, right? To gain power, and you're putting us in danger, right? A danger that you said that was never in place under any other president. This is the thing that we don't understand. How is it that for many years you said that Iran was not a danger, and all of a sudden you come in office and you see all of a sudden all these, you losing your fan base, the Epstein file is out, and you're about to be brought on several. What about Melania friend Amanda? Like all this stuff is coming out about you, and all of a sudden you want to go to war. Like we don't see it. And also, did he prove to Congress yet? Did he get the war? Did he get the war authority from Congress? Did the Congress sign off on it? It doesn't. None of this makes sense, and we're just all sitting here like, what the hell is happening? And now we talk about there's rumors about a draft bill. My sons ain't going.
Okay, Tammy says so. Obama lied when he said Iran had nuclear weapons.
When did Obama, former President Obama, okay, just so we get it clear, former President Barack Obama, I just want to make sure we say his name and his title very clearly for y'all, okay, he went and did a nuclear deal in which he made sure that the Iran government did not build up the Ukrainian material to build a nuclear weapon. Now, I personally did not hear that they had a nuclear weapon under former President Barack Obama. I heard that the deal was to prevent them from building up the Ukrainian project to build a nuclear weapon. Okay, so now let's go to Donald Trump. Donald Trump said when President Barack Obama was president, that Iran did not have a nuclear weapon. That's what Donald Trump said. He said it on Twitter, social media, on interviews. He said Iran do not have nuclear weapons. And if Barack Obama, former President Barack Obama, go into war with Iran, it's because of his own selfish reasons. Because his poll numbers are down, because there's investigation going on with him, and that he wants to be re-elected. These are Donald Trump words. I want to know, how is it Donald Trump said there was no nuclear weapons when former President Barack Obama was president, right? Through all the time when he took office for 4 years, there was no nuclear weapon. When he ran against Hillary, he talked about how she was going to be a war hawk and she was going to go to war with, if you didn't vote for me, she was going to go to war with Iran. I would never do that because Iran is not a threat. He won. He didn't go to war with Iran the first 4 years. Biden come in. He didn't say that there was nuclear weapon under Biden. When he ran against Kamala, he said she's going to take us to war with Iran. I would never do that because there's no nuclear weapon. How is it that this goddamn man is in office for less than 2 years and went into war with Iran for nuclear weapon and we got no evidence? Stop playing with me. That's all I'm asking. Stop it. You guys won. He's your president. He won. You won. God damn it. Accept it. We're good. He's your president. Stop playing. No, I'm not going to stop yelling because you're making me crazy. Stop playing with us. We get it. He won. Congratulations. Stop playing with me. All right?
Ooh.
Ooh, and I'm sick. Lord have mercy. I'm sick. I'm actually sick, guys, and y'all making me crazy. I'm sorry, Mel. I'm sorry.
All right.
So
take it.
By the words of Donald Trump. Donald Trump said for many, many years, Iran did not have nuclear weapons. If they have nuclear weapons suddenly, after many years of saying they don't have nuclear weapons, after many years of him saying they're not a threat, if they are suddenly a threat and they have nuclear weapons, show us the nuclear weapons. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I think he's a damn liar.
Do you trust the words from the military?
No, not the military that he's in now. No, I do not trust the word of the military, and I'm a former Marine. I don't trust anything that he has to say because every single general that knew about nuclear weapons, that knew about our current states of affairs, he has gotten rid of. So I don't trust anybody. I don't trust anybody under Hassett. Graper Hassett, alleged. No, I can't say alleged because it's in the court paper. According to the reports, the lawsuit that he has with this girl at the bar that accuses him of raping her in his hotel room.
Wait, who is this? The president?
No, Hassett.
Oh, okay. Hassett.
Yeah,
okay.
yes.
Okay.
So I don't trust him. I don't trust him. I don't trust the people that he has under him. I don't trust them. And even if that's the case, then where is it's very simple. You know something? It's so very simple. We have technology. Let me tell you about the technology. We have technology where we could actually show exactly where a missile hit a school of over 150 young children, young females. As a result of what we have that. We could see the school, we could see the missile, we could get the report. So we have it. That do you think that Donald Trump wanted that report to come out? That the American military unalive 150 children as a result of their action? You think Donald Trump wanted that report to come out? So let me tell you, if that report could come out, why wouldn't Donald Trump come and say, hey, American citizens, hey, here it is, right there. Here it is, right there, right there. It's at this location. Here it is, right there. You see? Here's the coordination. It was heading to us. You see how we stopped it? Woo, boo! We stopped it. You think Donald Trump would have done that? Come on now, stop playing with me. I don't want to hear the nonsense. Give me proof. Give me proof. That's what I'm saying. Give me proof. Give me people. I with my family ain't going down there though. I'm just telling you. If we get drafted, my kids
So,
ain't.
so let me ask you a question. Why do you think we went into Iran? Why?
According to our understanding, which I don't understand why our Muslim brothers and sisters didn't understand the play. Donald Trump has a relationship with Israel, and as a result of that relationship, right, and the fact that Israel wants to make sure that Hamas is not rebuilt, and anybody that support Hamas, that's the alleged alleged terrorist group that attacked their people, Peace Week event that still I don't know if they still have hostages and stuff like that. That whole incident that happened in October, right? Netanyahu, right? He has a relationship with Netanyahu. They devised this plan that they wanted to eliminate anybody that's a threat to Israel. Donald Trump agreed to it because Donald Trump, in his mind, thinks that he's going to have access to all these oils, right? And he's going to make himself richer than he is now. So he decided to go along with Israel. Also, according to reports, but I haven't seen anything. Well, there is a diagram that Jared created. They're supposed to change Gaza into a new resort for Trump, right? So who knows? We just know that prior to him having that meeting with Netanyahu, according to reports, because I'm not in intelligence, he wasn't pushing for any war with Iran because he spent all this time talking about Iran wasn't a threat. Now, don't get me wrong, there were conversations under Kamala Harris did say that he was going to war. Kamala Harris did say that in her campaign that Donald Trump is going to take us to war. Hillary Clinton also said that Donald Trump was going to take us to war. So they know something that I don't know. Like, they, because each of them was very clear that, yeah, if Donald Trump coming, he's going to war. And it exactly happened, right? But I don't know. I have no idea, like, what switched the level besides the report that he and Netanyahu decided this is what they were going to do. Because at this moment, I don't see any benefit to the American people. I don't
There's
see the benefit. What's the benefit?
there's a theory that when Netanyahu went down to Mar-a-Lago, I think on a Saturday night, people are saying that basically he held some information that he had over the president from Epstein, and they're saying, "Oh, this is why the president went into Iran to appease Israel." Do you buy into all of this propaganda, or do you think it's
I don't know.
true?
I don't think his people care about Epstein anymore. They cared about Epstein when they thought it was only the Democrats. Once they figured out that Donald Trump is in the Epstein file, they don't care as much. There's a couple of congresswomen that's really pushing it, and I don't like the GOP, but they one congressman, one running for I think for governor. I don't particularly like them, but they're really pushing it. But most of the people know that his supporters no longer care about the Epstein file, right? So I don't know if that's the issue. It has to be something really tragic and horrible for him to even be worried about that. I think it's more about the money and the power. I don't see Netanyahu. I mean, if you said it was Russia, if you said it was Russia that had something on him, then I would say yes. The reason why is because I think that he had a closer relationship, and there was proof of him going to Russia and being at the Russia hotels and stuff like that. I think that I seriously believe that he met Melania. At least I thought he met Melania through Putin. It didn't occur to me that he met Melania through Epstein, allegedly, according to her friend Amanda, that he met him through the modeling agency, through the Epstein, through the her former baby dad. You know what I'm saying? So that blew my mind because I was like, wait a minute, I thought he met Melania through Putin. To be honest with you, but you know something, you just don't know. You just hear stories, but at the end of the day, I don't know if it's an Epstein thing. I think that he had a meeting with Netanyahu. He knew that Netanyahu could give him Gaza, right? Because I think that was the original plan to build this big resort in Gaza. And there is proof that there was a presentation by Jared to show what it was going to look like and everything like that. It was going to be a beachfront resort. I thought he felt that, and then after that, he decided, hey, you know something, I'm going to take over the strait where they have ships going back and forth, and it was like, oh, wait a minute, hold up. There's a lot of oil. If I really push this, we could actually control these people oil. You understand? It's a lot of stuff going on. It's a lot of stuff going on, but you can't really pinpoint anything except for the fact that Netanyahu, and I'm probably mispronouncing his name, and Donald Trump decided to get together and decide now we at war with Iran.
Do you think, knowing what you know about the president of the United States, do you think anybody could really persuade him? Pretty much
Yes.
at the end of the day, he makes his own decision.
No, he doesn't make his own decision. The man is an old man. He's barely functioning. Maybe, I mean, he's a fox. Like, he's a fox. He's a slick fox. If anything, he's slick. He's like one of those con men's, right? So he was always the type of person, if it makes him money or if it makes him powerful, he would do it. But he also finds himself in very asinine situations where people convince him to do stuff, right? He also been fooled many different ways. So at this particular situation, I think that if he really, really thought about it and he saw it, because a lot of his promises is being debunked. He made so many promises to his people, right? And he sees his population, his numbers going down. I don't think that the Donald Trump of The Apprentice or the Donald Trump of yesteryear that used to call in to the radio station, the Donald Trump that used to have, well, even though the casinos was a failure and he has 7 bankruptcy, but I don't think the Donald Trump of yesteryear would allow himself to be put in this position. Because one thing that Donald Trump likes is he likes his favorability. He wants people to love him. He wants people to like him and care about him, and he's very upset that a lot of the people that supported him is leaving him. It goes against his ego. He's very ego driven. So I don't really think that he made this decision on his own. I think he was convinced to do it. You understand what I'm saying? And if somebody will go to him tomorrow and say, hey, guess what? Your numbers will go up. You could still have money. You could still have power if you just stop the war with Iran. I think he will stop it. If
You
somebody,
think so?
yeah, if somebody convince him, yeah, if somebody convince him and prove to him that he'll be better off without this war, yeah, most definitely, he would do it. You know what I mean? So yeah, he's a hypocrite.
So,
Like,
so, so
like
let's switch up just a little bit. What do you think about the midterm elections? Do you think the Republicans will hold steady,
I don't know.
or do you think the Democrats are going to win bigly?
I don't know. I mean, I had a lot of hope for the Democrat winning bigly, but there's way too much drama going on with the Democrats. Boy, look at what happened to my guy in California, man. Well. I think I think there's a lot of campaigns that's out there right now. A lot of like expose campaign, a lot of honey traps, and a lot of different things that's happening in order to bring down a lot of these political leaders on both parties. But I think that in regards to like these honey traps, I think the MAGA will stand by their actual predator candidate and take them all the way to the end and vote them president, whereas the Democrats is trying to get rid of all of our predators. So I don't know now. I don't know. There's a lot of predators out there, so I think that's an issue to try to get all the predators out of the election. And once we see how many people, really good people, that's standing, then I could decide who's going to maybe have a better chance of winning. Because I seriously don't think that MAGA is willing to let go Donald Trump or the Republican Party. I don't think so. I mean, there is a lot of them that's coming out now and saying that, we don't appreciate the war. We don't appreciate this and that. But I think Donald Trump, maybe his military may possibly be wise enough not to do the draft prior to the midterm election. I think if they submit a draft bill and children have to go to war, then they will probably lose. I think they may just hold up until after the midterm election, and once that happened, then they probably will do a draft bill if they're still in play. But yeah, it's tight. I had a lot of hope for the Dems earlier, but there's too many allegations, too many of the leaders that that a lot of us really respected coming out as predators. So I don't know now.
Well, Kamala Harris is gearing up to run after her 1 billion spend. It says she's going to run through again.
You heard that Kamala Harris is running again?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Her and The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. It's,
They might,
it,
they might like The Rock. I mean, I'm still a little curious because if the Rock is a MAGA supporter, so I don't know. I don't know. I'm still trying to. The Rock say he's not a MAGA supporter, so I'm still trying to figure it out. No disrespect, Rock. I heard, but I don't know. We don't know. But if Kamala runs, I will definitely support Kamala Harris again, just like I did the last time. I would.
what is it about her that makes her better than Donald Trump?
Homer. Anybody's better than Donald Trump.
How so?
Anybody. Donald Trump is evil pontification. Like he's an example of evil. I know I'm pronouncing that second word wrong. He's just a bad person. He's really he's just a bad, bad guy. Like he's a liar. He lies, he backstab, he takes away. It's about him, and making money and taking care of it. He's just not a good person for America. He's not. He's a laughing stock. He just a joke. Like America, when it's gonna take many years for us to wash off the disrespect of Donald Trump, to be honest with you. So yeah, she's a better human being, right? She's much better respected. She has better education, right? She is better loved because even MAGA, I don't think when I say MAGA loved them, it's not that MAGA loved Donald Trump so much, even though they do love him. I think they just hate other people more. That's why they support Donald
You
Trump.
you think she could handle Iran better than President
I
Trump?
think, I think anybody can handle Iran better than Donald Trump. I don't think, to be honest with you, I don't think we would be at this war if it was anybody else in office because we weren't at war with Iran with everybody else in office. Like, why is he the only one that went to war with Iran? Like, I don't care what you guys say. I don't care if you guys hate whatever. I don't give a damn. You guys don't want to understand the concept of what people are saying. Regular folk. 'Cause I'm a regular person in New York. Nobody went to war with Iran instead of Donald Trump.
Maybe that's a good thing. What do you think?
Oh, it's a horrible thing. It's a horrible thing. He hasn't done anything but makes our lives more difficult. Our bills are higher. We are now in more danger than we ever been before. And if his intention was to rewrite the nuclear peace deal, where is that? Where is that? You send your God, I was about to be disrespectful again. You can't even get a nuclear deal. You can't even get a peace treaty. You can't do nothing. Like it's can we at least get to the point where everything is resolved? Can we get to that point? Right? You sent Vance over there twice. He came back. He couldn't even come up with a deal. Can we just get to the point where he could come up with a deal? Can he give us evidence that there's a nuclear weapon out there? Can we get anything from this
Do
nut?
you believe Vance though?
Who?
JD Vance. Do you believe him?
No, JD Vance is a joke.
He said he was an atheist, but now he's a Christian.
JD Vance is a joke. JD Vance can't even stand up for his own wife. JD Vance can't even stand up for his own belief. Like he's flip flopping. So now you're a Christian. Now, what are you going to do with your Muslim wife? You're going to force her to be Christian? Come on, like, give me a break. But at the end of the day, we're supposed to respect their leadership. JD Vance wasn't able to come up with a permanent peace deal, right? JD Vance went back and forth. He lost the discussion twice. What I'm saying right now, we are here in the real moment in time. Donald Trump wants to get the what's that peace medal?
Nobel Peace Prize.
Thank you. Donald Trump wants to get the Nobel Peace Prize. Why don't he work on that? Get us out of the war, prove to us that there's a nuclear weapon out there, bring down the gas bill, right? The electricity, the grocery, like he promised, and keep us safe so that we can move on. That's it. Not that much ask. I don't think I'm asking a lot. He promised all of these things. Why don't he keep to his promise so we can move on?
So, based on everything that you're saying, are you of the persuasion that all of these things are happening just because of the Epstein files as a distraction? Are you one of those thinkers?
I think that it's ironic that he went into war right when the Epstein files is being exposed, where his supporters was pushing for the narrative. I think that was an ingredient, but it can't own nothing absolute, right? It could be several things. It could be the Epstein file. It could be his relationship with Netanyahu. It could be because he wants to buy oil because he was manipulating the stock market with the oil trade. It could be a bunch of stuff. It's nothing's absolute. At the end of the day, it's what he or his people, because I don't think that he does everything by himself. Not right now. If you had told me a few years ago that he could sit there and be awakened and there's a big wall and he's moving the chess by himself, I would say, okay. Right now, no. I think there's other things that are at play. There's other people that's in his ear that's making him move his, like for example, Luma, right? Luma came out and said that the reason why he put out that post against Candace Owen, Tucker Carlson, and who else? I think Piers Morgan's in that, and what's her name? Uh,
Alex Jones,
oh, it was Alice Jones, not Piers Morgan. Alice Jones, and what's that?
Candace Owens, Megan Kelly,
Kelly's the fourth one. The
and Tucker Carlson.
It's because she went in there. She told them that he was talking. They were talking bad about him. Nah, 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 nah. They talking bad about you, right? And she had this put out a post against all those people because she went in there and told them that they talked bad about him. All right. That's what I'm talking about. That's the Donald Trump that we have right now. Somebody could go into the White House, right? The most powerful position in the world, and have this guy act like a child and post derogatory comment about these four people that used to support him. It's crazy to me. So there's examples every day that this man is not functioning on his own. This man is not thinking for himself. There's examples every single day. So the moment that somebody go in there and convince him that it would be better for him, not for the American people, for him to stop the war with Iran, he'll stop it.
So who's thinking for him? I would love to know that. Tell me.
Stephen Miller is thinking for him right now. Laura Loomer is thinking for him right now. He has several.
There's a rumor, and I want to make it clear. There's a rumor
thinking for him right now
that she's with him. Is that? Did you see
Ooh,
that?
I heard that article, but Israel. I think Israel Netanyahu is thinking for him right now too. Thank you for someone said. It's so creepy. She is so. Oh God. It's just, something. I didn't read the article. I just saw it. I just saw the article, but I'm like, yo, he had to. Oh my God, he has to really be desperate. Cause let me tell you something. One thing about Donald the perv, he used to go.
Wait, what? Women. Did you say? Oh my goodness.
Sorry. He used to go after beautiful women. He used to go after beautiful women. Every woman, when they were younger, he used to go after them, and he used to do some salacious situation. He's a predator. It's in the court's documents. We know.
The president?
Yes, Donald Trump is a salacious predator, actual predator. We know this, and that he's part of it. He talked about it, about how he's grabbing them by the PUSSY. We here. We after the fact. They voted for him. They don't care. One thing you can say about Donald Trump, he loved beautiful women. Okay, Donald Trump, even the people that he hates right now, he be calling them unattractive. He called Candace Owen beautiful at one time. He loved beautiful women, so he has to be the most desperate at this time for Luma. Yeah, that's the only thing that would stop me to think that there's something going on with her, just to see her face. I'm like, we're talking about her. I would be more inclined to think that he has something with his the one that conduct the
Caroline Levitt.
I think Caroline Levitt would be more his kind. But Luma,
What's wrong with Luma?
I don't know. I don't see it. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. He has to be really desperate. He has.
I mean, he's on record saying that she's a very beautiful woman.
Yep. That's it. He's desperate. Yep. That's why he can't get it. He can't get it like he used to. I get it. She's the best he could get right now. That's what I get it. She's the best he can, because I'm sure Melania ain't touching him with a 10-foot pole. He ain't tapping that. So I think that she's the best he could get. So if that's the case, then I could see it. I was just giving him the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, with no matter how evil this mofo was, he had some beautiful women in his life. Beautiful women. So I'm shocked if it's true. I'm shocked. But hey,
right now, gas prices are up. Okay, food up and down, oil's down, but the stock market is popping, is strong. Why do you think that's the case?
Is it again? Because I know that there was a while that people were stressing out about the market. Is it back up again?
Yeah, the market's strong. I mean, today was down, but overall it's up considerable. So what do you think about that? Do you think what do you think the investors think about the president?
The very rich think the same way about him as they think before. That's why they backstabbing the American people and supporting them. They don't care about the rest of us. The rest of us have nothing to do with the stock market. The stock market ain't helping me. I'm not a millionaire. The stock market is not helping me. The stock market is not doing nothing for me. So whether the stock market is up and down, it doesn't really impact me. I have a pension like everybody else. I'm just going to hope by the time I retire, there's money still in there. So for them, then he's fine. I mean, they supported him all this time. They didn't change. You think the rich people care about Epstein or what he did with underage, if allegedly, or if he's drafting kids, or if he's taking food, the funding from veterans, or food from hungry children, or housing? Do you think they care? They don't care about none of that. So yeah, they will continue to support him. All the filthy rich people who supported him. Yep, they're still out there. Yep.
Right. So what do you say for the people, their 401ks is strong right now?
Well, mine's lost a lot of money, so that's why I'm asking you if it's up now, because I checked my 401k the other day, maybe about a month ago, and I was like, "Yo, this is God."
It was down a month ago. It's back up now.
So if it's up
I mean,
now,
it depends on your positions, but I would imagine based on the overall market, especially the S&P 500, you should be sitting better than you was a month ago.
Okay, then we'll see what happens a month.
But does that tell you in a way that people have confidence in the president of the United States for us to go to war? Well, I'm using war lightly. For us to do this conflict, okay?
No, we at war.
Thank you, Fates Karma, for the gifting of a membership.
Nice to see you. Nice to see you. We at war because soldiers are unalive. So that means we are at war. It's not a conflict. We are at war. If we're losing soldiers, we're losing bodies. We're at war. So go ahead, as you were saying.
Okay, so based on that, what are your thoughts?
As far as the stock market?
Yeah.
The stock market is volatile.
No, but I'm saying that, is that giving the indication that people have confidence in the president?
No, People don't have confidence in the president. Everybody, he's less popular than he ever was. People have no confidence in him. Only his hardcore people are still supportive. Everybody else is looking at him like he's crazy. Right? So no, the answer is no. If he was popular, right? People had confidence that his numbers would be high. His numbers are low 30s. So no. As far as the stock markets don't impact most of us. If it did impact most of us, then the grocery prices wouldn't be so high, right? And the light bills, the utilities wouldn't be so high. The stock market does nothing for regular people. It doesn't. So most of us don't care about the stock market. We look at it, we're like, oh, okay. We care about the job numbers. They said the job numbers was high, and a lot of us is looking at it like, okay, like this, like it's we're living our regular everyday lives. Like recently, for the last 2 weeks, I had to count. I think I told you the story that I had me and my coworker. We're talking about how much money we could spend during lunch. The last few days, I have been not. I either would buy breakfast or lunch, and I would eat at home. I don't eat at home. I haven't done a DoorDash in over 3 weeks, and I used to do DoorDash all the time. Nothing is affordable. I'm talking about as a regular black female living in Brooklyn, living my best life, mother, grandmother. I am broke in today's economy, and I make a lot of money. So the rest of us don't care. The regular people don't care about stock market. We don't give a damn about it. We care about when we go to the grocery store, how much stuff is. How much is breakfast? I told you the other day, 2 days ago, the week before, I bought a egg, cheese, sausages on a croissant with iced coffee for $7.50. A week later, I got the same thing. They were asking me for $9. Are you crazy? Like, what the fuck happened?
Do
Like,
you blame that on the president?
yes, I do blame it on the president. I blame it on the president because the fact that if stuff wasn't so expensive, then it wouldn't trickle down to the rest of us everyday people. So I blame it on him. I blame it on him. I blame it on the administration. This wasn't supposed to happen under him. We were supposed to be living lovely right now, making money right now. Everything was supposed to be down. We were supposed to live our best lives under him, and we're not. Regular people are living a hellish existence right now. A hellish existence right now. So
who do you think is winning right now?
as far as what, the election?
No, in life, who's winning?
We're winning right now.
And you think that's because of the president?
Yeah.
Okay.
And his administration, yeah. Yeah.
How do you feel about Joe Biden? Do you
You know why I blame because when we had our president, they blamed us for everything. Everything. We got blamed for everything. If the light shut off, it's Biden's fault. If there was an accident, it's Biden's fault. If there were protesters, it's Biden's fault. If the British ambassador was found in a salacious situation, it's Biden's fault. The light, the gas, the water, the weather, the climate change, his daughter diary, his son's situation, everything was Biden, right? Everything was Biden's fault. So I find it ironic. The reverse is happening now. I'm talking about former President Biden, Joe Biden. I find it reversed now that the same technique is being used on Donald Trump, and everyone, his supporters, are clutching their pearls and saying, why are we blaming Donald Trump when they spent years blaming former President Joe Biden? And before that, then they still doing it. Donald Trump is still doing it, blaming former President Barack Obama. Like, you don't like it. In my opinion, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So if everything was a problem under former President Barack Obama, and everything was a problem under former President Joe Biden, then everything is a problem under Donald Trump. And that's just the way it is. He is running the country now. GOP has Congress. They have the Senate and they have the House. They have the Supreme Court. It's a trifecta. They are running the United States of America. So everything that goes on wrong now is the MAGA problem, is the GOP problem, and is Donald Trump problem. You see how that is? You see how that works? We didn't write the rules. Y'all wrote the rules. We're just agreeing with it right now.
Okay. Very good. Thank you very much. We're going to move on and give the president a break, but thank you for breaking it all down.
Bob, you know what I'm thinking, right? I just want to make sure, Bob, New Jersey, 2025. You know, I just want you to know that you know what I'm thinking. I don't want to say it in front of Mel, but you know what I'm thinking, right, Bob? I'm just saying.
Okay.
Bob, just know that what I'm thinking. It's on you and your peoples.
Okay.
Right, go ahead. You were saying. Go ahead.
What do you think about Cash Patel right now? He's taking a lot of heat. He's taking a lot of heat because they're saying he was using the resources from the government, taxpayers' dollars, to have special agents protect his girlfriend and fly her around the country. What do you think about that?
Oh my God, he's a joke. I feel bad for him. I feel bad for him. I don't like him. I feel bad for him because he's trying to be one of the white boys and he's not. He's not. Cash Patel is going to be after when this man unalive and transition out of this world because he's not a vampire, because he's going to leave. You know, eventually.
When you say this man, who are you talking about?
Donald Trump. When Donald
Trump the president.
Donald Trump transitioned out of this world because he's not a vampire. There's a lot of people that's going to get a lot of heat and flat, and Cash Patel is going to get it, and the MAGA supporter is going to turn on him like dirt, like, you know what I'm saying? Because he really thinks that he's one of the white boys right now. They're going to turn on him like he's shit on a barrel. I feel bad. I feel bad for him. I feel bad for him. Obviously, he doesn't know how to act because I think his girlfriend is rather attractive. So he doesn't know how to act when a pretty girl pay attention to him because he wants to give her the world. Like, what are we doing? Oh, he going to be dragged. Every dime, money, everything that he pays for this girl is going to be brought back, and he's going to be charged with all kind of felony charges. He better hope prior to the Trump unaliving that he get a pardon. And even so, if they find it with state taxes, oh my God, he's going down. He's going down. But hey, he wants to be one of the white boys, so he got himself a little girlfriend, and he wants to act like he's the big man in town. So that's what he's doing. Yeah. And now he's going after the Southern Poverty. What's the organization again? Because we were talking about it, the Southern Poverty Law Center. Mm-hmm. Is he nuts? He's talking about they were indicted for what? Supporting what? I'm still trying to read this into the story because you just mentioned it to me. What is he trying to accuse them of? Of doing what?
Well, some of the headlines say they were giving money to the KKK, and you get all these headlines. It's a little bit more complex than that, but they have a major indictment. We went over it on the channel too. So, but I'll give you some time to research it. We could get into that.
And you think that indictment is true?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's a real indictment. Now, whether or not some of these things stick, that's a different story, but it's definitely.
So between 2014 and 2020, the SVF secretly funded more than $3 million in donation funds to individuals who are associated with various violent extreme groups, the Triple Ks, United Klans, Unite the White, National Line, okay, wait a minute. So is the Southern are they a black organization or are they a white organization?
They're non-for-profit. They were supposed to be caring for minority matters. I guess you could put it that way.
Okay, but are the leadership white or black? That's what I'm asking. Do we know?
I don't know. You would have to look it up. I don't know that much about him.
Okay, good. Okay, all right. So you know what? I was thinking of the people poverty. Remember when you told me about this? I was thinking of the people poverty non for profit organization, which is completely a different organization altogether. Because
Oh, okay.
when you told me about it, I was like, well, Joyce Reed talked about the people poverty movement all the time, right? That is run by this pastor. He's and there's no way that he would be involved in this organization, in this thing. So I would want to read more, because if, to be honest with you, if this organization is part of is mostly run by white teen men, I might have to look a little bit into it. But what my thing would be is that, why would the FBI care about a non-for-profit giving funding to the KKK white supremacists when we know that most MAGA are white supremacists anyway? So I think
Really?
there's, yeah, totally.
You
I
think
totally,
so?
I totally believe that most MAGA, they either a lot white supremacists or a little white supremacists. MAGA supporters who support Donald Trump really believe that they're better than other people, other races, in my opinion.
Hmm.
So, you could be either a little racist or a lot of racist. So I'm surprised to find out that they're actually going after people who support white supremacists. The KK, the Triple K might be a little far for them, because it might look, but yeah, a lot of these people are white supremacists. All of them, like even Stephen Miller, who is a Jewish man, swear that he's white. He swear he's a white man. Like, you can't tell Stephen Miller nothing about him not being a white man. And we already talked about Cash Patel. Everyone is leaning, his administration leaning towards the white side. You understand what I'm saying? They want to.
Now you actually like Stephen Miller though, right?
No, I don't like Stephen Miller. I think he's a nut. He's always been a nut. I mean, I feel bad for people who want to turn against their own people and their own nationality and do damage to them. That he's pathetic. I think Stephen Miller is a joke, in my opinion. You know what I mean? He's always been, but he's making $1 million as being an anti-Jew Jew, right? So hey, that's his life. But I want to know more about this story, because yeah, why are they going after this group? I mean, we all know that most of the January 6th were white supremacists. Now, come on, now we know that for a fact, because I know that for a fact, because I saw a lot of the texts behind the scene. They had in Truth Social, they were sharing a lot of the texts that they did right before. So a lot of the even the Cuban January 6ers were sworn that they were white. So that, come on now. So I really need to know what's going on with this story, to be honest with you, because I really want to know why they're after them. Something else is going on with them. They don't care the fact that they spend money on these people when they know America Front. Come on. Aryan Nation? What? Oh, did you? Oh, come on. Didn't that, when he was, come on, stop playing with me. When he was at Madison Square Garden, when Donald Trump was giving this speech in Madison Square Garden, right before the election and stuff like that, which I thought would have threw him off. When our Puerto Rican people I was talking to a Puerto Rican MAGA supporter outside. I have a whole interview, and we were talking about the fact that he gave the salute, and he didn't think it was a big deal. You telling me that now you're going after the American Otzi party? Now you don't see anything wrong with that. All of these people supported Donald Trump. Something else is going on. Something else is going on. Something else is going on. They must be upset with him. They have to be upset with him about the something else. They got something else going on. It got to be. There's no way. These are half his supporters. National Alliance, the National Socialist Movement. Come on. What? A motorcycle club? Oh, come on. Mel, you know they used to have Donald Trump motorcycles. All of those guys, they used to ride during the campaign. They used to do the whole Donald Trump motorcycle events.
Oh wow!
They did during his events. They actually did the hand movements. You know that the Nazi hand movement to salute Donald Trump. We saw this, and he thought it was funny.
Talking about Elon Musk? You talking about Elon Musk too?
Yes, we were there. He did it at the campaign, at the celebration parties. So you want me to believe that this current administration from 2014 to 2020 is going after this organization? No, I need to find out who's the owner. We need to do an investigation. Who's the members of this organization and what's going on with this organization? There's no way. There's no way that they would go after a white supremacist organization. There's absolutely no way. Something else is going on here. There's no way. There's no way. Now, don't look at me and stare at me. You know I'm telling the truth. You saw them. You know he supported them.
Wow.
Okay, so the Sutter is American non-for-profit legal advocacy organization in Alabama by lawyers Maurice D. Joseph J. Levine Jr. and Julian Bond as its first president. Initially a public interest law firm, it focused on civil rights and anti-democratic cases, later becoming known as filing civil suits against. Stop playing with me. So this group is supposed to be filing civil suits against white supremacist groups, right? And then they're supposed to be, and now you're telling me that they. I'm supposed to believe this. I'm supposed to believe that a group that actually sued the Triple Ks are now funding money to the Triple Ks, and then the FBI just decided, oh my God, now we're going to find out what's going on with them because we so hate under the Donald Trump administration. We so hate white supremacists, Nazis, the Triple Ks, right? The motorcycle clubs. We so hate them now that we're going to go after this organization for supporting them. These are key supporters of Donald Trump. These are key groups that helped Donald Trump win the second time around after all the horrible things. You want me to believe that the FBI decided they're going after this group for supporting Donald Trump supporters?
Yeah, Cash Patel, Todd Blanche, they're right on it.
Wow. Well, let's see what happened next. Apparently, according to the article, they're warning, this organization is warning a lot of non-for-profit organizations. They're saying anybody who fights against these, against Donald Trump's policies need to be careful and watch out because Donald Trump is going after any organization that criticize him. So they're saying there's a reverse. They're saying they're being set up, right? Because they are well known for fighting for civil rights and against these organizations. So they're being set up. And they say they have the funding, financial backing to fight this all the way to court. That's what they're saying. They say that if they think that this is what I read, if they think that they're going to make it easier for Donald Trump to drag them to court, they're going to fight this. So I can't wait to see what happens. I can't wait. I hope too bad it's in Alabama, because if it wasn't in Alabama, we'll be in court now, following behind them. And before we leave, we didn't talk about the Diddy trial. We're waiting for the appeal court to come with a decision to determine whether they're going to send the the judge gave Diddy 5 years, right? So his lawyer appealed to the appellate court to say that it was too many years based on the Mann Act. The Mann Act does not allow someone to get these many years based on his conviction, right? So they're trying to get the conviction reversed. They tried to get the conviction reversed, but the appeal court said that's not under our judiciary. We cannot have it's not under our, and we do not have the power or authority to reverse a conviction. So that didn't happen. So now they're trying to decrease it. So they were there for, I think, 4 hours in order to discuss the different the defense was pretty much saying the Mann Act does not allow the judge to actually give that much time, but they said that the judge was using every the cases that he was not found guilty, right? There were several cases he was found not guilty. He was using those cases, even though he wasn't found not guilty, he was found not guilty, as a reason to actually give him more time, right? So that's what happened. And the prosecutor saying, no, he had various cases in which he could use to give him more time. And they're fighting about, I'm trying to remember the actual word, but they're fighting about these various cases that allows uh, that allows judges to look at other cases, like other actions that the perp, I will call Diddy a perp did in order to give him reasons to determine its time to be served, right? So now, right now, it's with the appellate court. They haven't come with a decision, but if they do come with a decision, I thought the appellate court could just say, "Oh no, he could," it automatically they reduce the sentence. But I think it goes back to the judge for the judge reconsideration. So that's where we are now. So we're waiting for the appellate court to decide whether they believe that the judge had significant reasons, right, and authority to give him the 5 years, or if it has to, he has to go back to him for reconsideration. I think that's where we are with that.
Okay, what do you think about the whole case where Diddy was suing NBC and Peacock? That decision came through 2 days ago.
I didn't even see that. This fool is like he's another one, but I didn't even see that he's suing them. What is he suing them for? Defamation?
Defamation, 100 million. He lost the case, so they shut it down. The judge.
Good. I'm glad. So good. Okay,
What?
I
What's?
think it's good.
Why would you say that about Diddy?
Diddy is a criminal. Diddy is an ex predator. Everyone, everything that we know, we saw, we heard what he did. Don't let anybody fool you and let you think that Diddy was innocent. He was not. There was a lot of evidence. There was a lot of receipts that was not released to the public and was not released to the juror. Some of us who actually sat in court for the months of the trial, we were there to hear the conversations and the arguments and hear the receipts that was quashed by the defense. He did a lot of very horrible things. Also, Michael and his OJ, Mark Agnafilio and his OJ Simpson team was able to get the jury to hate the women, pretty much. They made it the women's fault, right? So now that's why I think they were found not guilty. He was found not guilty. But anyway, at least I got him. He was found guilty on at least two of the 7 acts, so 2 of the 5 acts. So I'm happy with that.
So let me run this scenario past you.
And I also want to let you guys know the 5 years was less than what the probationary office did, because when you are found guilty, they have to do a full report on you, full report or throughout your life and everything, and they have to suggest a time frame that you should a sentencing time frame. The probationary suggested 7 years, 7 years, and the judge still gave him 5, below what was even recommended. So the defense is full of crap. But go ahead, what were we saying?
So the president of the United States, his spiritual advisor, his name is Robert Morris.
I thought it was
Him and,
Paula something.
what's that?
I thought it was Paula something. You said it was Paula White that was his spiritual advisor.
That's his pastor. Okay,
Okay.
Paula White. His spiritual advisor is Robert Morris. Okay. So 6 months ago, Robert Morris and Sean Combs were to be sentenced for, both of them were facing 20 years. You know what Diddy did? You went to the court case. Robert Morris, his spiritual advisor, violated, okay,
Mm-hmm.
a 12-year-old girl in the worst way, okay.
Didn't he get off or something?
He only received 6 months.
Yes.
Diddy received 50 months.
Mhm.
Would you say that the scales of justice are equal?
Nope.
Explain.
I think that he should have. I think Diddy should be under the jail for 50 years, and I think this guy who actually violated underage should never be released from jail at all. So instead of us arguing the fact, because some people was like, oh, because I met this really wonderful guy that was outside the court, and he felt the fact that he fell away because Diddy, as a black man, did not get a release on bail when any other white male would have gotten released on bail and stuff like that. He felt as black people we should feel offended. I'm like, no, I believe the opposite. I think that the white man should have gotten should not be bailed out, and I believe Diddy shouldn't be bailed out. You see what I'm saying? So I don't care. In regards to Diddy, there's a lot of cases when I feel that there is wrong. The judiciary is against our black folks. I fight that all the time. I fight that my entire life, especially for my sons. My sons was railroaded in a lot of situations, and a lot of the young black people in my community, and I was able to help a lot of people when it came to the court system because I had that connection. But with that said, though, I still think when it comes to actual predatory behavior, that everyone is equal under the sun, and I think that if Diddy should be in jail, and so is that white pastor who violated that underage, and they should have.
So the pastor is already the spiritual advisor for Donald Trump. He's already back home.
Okay, he's gonna do it again. He's gonna do it again. You see, these sick, perverted, nonsense people are gonna do it again. And then, to be honest with you, I think uh, families need to be more involved in these situations. I think families needs to be more involved in these situations. I think families need to be more involved in these situations, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Because let me tell you something. Don't let me find out that somebody did something like that to my one of my granddaughters. That's all I'm saying. You're not gonna be able to walk. You're not gonna be able to walk uh, comfortably in our society. It's not gonna happen. So that's what I'm saying. I mean, like, families needs to be more involved, and it has to be a very serious situation because there is no way that the legal system is going to allow somebody like that to be out of jail, and then as the family member of that young person, they allowing him to walk comfortably in that community. He's gonna have to walk. He's gonna have to go. He's gonna have to do something. Something's gonna have to happen. We need to start protecting our own. And I don't believe in violence, right? I do everything I can. As you know, Mel, I do everything I can to prevent violence against anybody. I will put myself in the middle of a dangerous situation to protect somebody else. But I'm telling you guys right now, there's a lot of nonsense that's happening in the world right now when it comes to these very powerful men, very rich, powerful men. If the courts is not going to handle it, then family members need to do something about it. That's what I'm saying. And that doesn't mean to unalive them. That's not what I'm saying. I'm telling them that make sure they don't live in your neighborhood. They make sure they're not comfortable. Make sure they are removed from the situation. I'm telling you, make them uncomfortable. Make them uncomfortable. That's what I'm saying. That pastor should never be in church again. He never should be in anybody's restaurant. He never should be, and he needs to be sequestered in his house for the rest of his life. He should not step foot in the house without him being in fear from that family. That's how I feel about it. Because justice could come in many different ways.
Beautiful. Well said. Thank you so much. That brings us to the end of the show. We had a good show tonight, right? I think so.
Thank you so much. Now we didn't talk about Nancy. You wanted to fill us in on Nancy.
Yeah, I figured we could close out on that for the next 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, so I'm reading on it, and they're talking about how lab serial killer conviction reportedly involved. I'm sorry, Iller. I'm sorry, involved in Savannah mom case. Are they saying what today? What are they saying? They're saying that the lab is connected with Rex Hermanman. However, a lab that helped in the conviction of Long Island serial is reportedly involved in the case. All right, so they say CC Moore. So okay,
They're just saying the same lab doing the work, trying to figure it out,
okay,
basically.
so there is a hair sample is likely at the Sanford. Okay, I'm pretty confident they will want to use the lab. Okay, that's what it is. Okay, so apparently it's the same thing that we talked about last week, right? They found an additional DNA, and now they're looking at the DNA to see. They said it's complicated. Based on my reporting last week, they said it was complicated because the DNA was connected with, I think, another blood sample, like it was combined. So it was going to be more difficult to actually extract the DNA of the nappers because it had, I think her DNA was connected with it. And they said it could either take a week, a month, or a year. So I'm guessing that they're saying that, okay, so the lab that, like you said, the lab that caught Rex Humerman, which is the Long Island area unaliver, is now involved in the case, and they did an amazing job to catch him. So maybe that's what they're trying to do. Okay, that is as of April 21st. Okay, so hopefully they're able to extract the information and we can find out who it was.
Yeah, so many people are still stuck on the son-in-law. I'm so shocked by that, you know.
I I didn't think it was the son. The son. I didn't hear about the son-in-law. I didn't hear about the son-in-law. I actually heard more about the son. The guy that was with them, right? There was you had the sisters and the brother, right? Those were the three, right? I heard it was more about possibly it was somebody in the family. I did hear it was somebody in the family, and because of the shape of the person, right? It didn't look like a female, it looked like a male. I thought it was more going towards the male member of the family. What? Why did they? Why are they saying it's the son-in-law? Because I did not hear it was the son-in-law at all.
Because he was the last person to drop her off.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And that's just basically on statistics, but you know what, I guess the story is just so convoluted. I mean, it's just so crazy that people are saying it had to have been an inside job. So the sheriff Nanos, he came out and said no, the family, everybody has been cleared.
Okay. Good. So it's not
Um,
them. Then it's not.
but but you know, you still have people saying it was the son-in-law.
Yeah, but it's not. I know I've heard it. I have definitely heard that it was a family member. It was an inside job. A lot of people felt it was an inside job, but we don't know. We don't know. I don't think. Unfortunately, I don't think that she's still alive. I just hope that they find out what eventually happened to her, so that Savannah can have peace. I think you mentioned that Savannah left the show abruptly one time. Did they ever tell us why that she left the show?
Nope, we never heard I haven't heard a precise reason why.
Yeah.
Nancy Grace had reported basically that they had found someone in Rio that was questioned or detained, but we never heard anything come of it. So I'm not sure what happened. You know.
I just think that I'm just curious because I think I mentioned to you like TMZ. I haven't heard TMZ report give additional report, but they did mention that they did believe the letters that came to them that said that the person have information if they pay them, right? And then he was saying to hurry up, I need the money so I could tell you, where she's at. And then after a week, they were like, well, there's no longer an urgency, meaning they implied, according to TMZ, they imply that she's no longer alive. There's no more urgency. But if you still want me, I could still tell you who they are if you send me the money, and they haven't sent the money. So,
Yeah, in my opinion, I think that all the letters are coming from the same source. That's
mm,
just my opinion. Based on, I think the person is changing the narrative, first person, third, whatever they're doing. It's the same individual. That's just my opinion, though.
yeah, so may she finds the answers to what happened to her mom. It is horribly sad. Whatever happened to the other lady, the other woman that looked just like her, that remind me of the napping, the one that you showed us.
Right.
Whatever happened to that case?
Still missing. There's not a lot about her case known because she doesn't have that celebrity element, but
That's,
she's still missing.
she looks so.
You know what's crazy about the Nancy Guthrie case is that the person who did this, they were extremely lucky from the fact that her Nest camera wasn't working. And when you think about it, when the son-in-law dropped her off, I was talking about it last night when he dropped her off, because she has the half moon driveway in front, but then it veers off to the right and goes around to her garage. There's a camera on the pool house. There's actually two cameras, but one that actually points right down. It would have shown when the son-in-law dropped her off.
Okay.
And if there's no footage, you know, you would think we would be able to see Nancy being dropped off. We don't have anything like that. It just seems so strange to me. Also, they said that there was she had cameras inside the home. Maybe they're withholding that information, but I'm just saying, you would think we would have more if we're 80 some days out now.
I mean, yes, I think it would be more. I mean, I don't think I still say I don't think they care enough about this case because it's not one of the MAGA's family members. That's just me. You know me. I'm like, I think if it was one of the MAGA's family members, they would have found her already. But that's just me. I could be wrong. But it's weird to me that the cameras weren't working, like you said. But again, I also thought it was an inside job until I saw them walk up and try to dismantle the camera in the front with the tree. So I'm like, okay, if it was inside the person would know that their camera was there, right? But now you're talking about there's other cameras that was there that doesn't have footage. So I don't know. I
You
don't
know
know.
what though? I think the guy knew from the beginning. He knew about the camera because when you put the video on infrared, you can see his eyes, and his eyes are trained on the camera when he's walking up from the get go. So with the natural camera, you can't see it, but when you switch the camera, you can see his eyes is on that camera. I think about it. These cameras, whenever they detect motion, they light up.
Mhm.
Even the Nest camera, and you'll see the Nest camera is even more prominent than the Ring because it'll start rotating. So
Yep.
there's no doubt about it. It's not like that camera is sitting there like a little owl and quiet. No, it's very active. So
Well,
um,
I definitely think that he saw the camera, but I'm just saying if an inside job, they would have known the camera was there already. They would have been prepared. That's what I'm saying.
yeah, but whoever walked up, I'm saying I think they knew about the camera. I think that it was more of a staging. I think this was a part of the plan.
Mm. Okay, that's interesting.
Because last night I was explaining, do you have to go? Because I don't want to keep you beyond your time.
No, I'm good.
Okay. All right. So when I was out there, boots on the ground, I heard several things. Number one, before I went out there for over a week, I always thought that these letters were written by someone in Africa, China, just somebody just, jumping on the bandwagon. But when I went out there and I saw a lot of the facts unfold, I began to realize that those letters came from whoever took Nancy. There's some ingredients in the letter. For instance, it said that her white Apple watch was at the foot of the bed, that the floodlight around the back of the house was broken. And then later we started to hear these type of details come out, and they said, well, this could have happened on January the 11th.
Mm.
I was saying that while I was out there, that January the 11th is when they felt like this same individual came and broke the floodlight around the back of the house. Okay.
Mhm.
So, uh, some of the other details that I heard is that there was a broken lamp inside the door. This is while I was there. I heard that you see the blood trail outside the door,
Mhm.
that it was equally distributed inside the door, right? We didn't hear that until later on. And then also you had Savannah came back and confirmed what I had said when I was there, that the first two letters she felt like came from the kidnapper. Okay. But one of the details that I broke down last night that I heard while I was there, they said that the back door was locked from the outside. And I'm like, well, that doesn't make sense. And number two, Ashley Banfield, when she came out with all of her facts that she was saying she had spoken to an FBI agent, she said the back door was left open right from the jump, and then we found out that that turned out to be true.
Mhm.
But what I learned is that that front door, the black door, the front door, that gated door, you have to lock it from the outside. So that door was the door that was locked from the outside. So that means someone allegedly would have had to have walked her out. She's dripping blood, and then they would have turned around and locked that gated door. Why would they have done that?
That's crazy.
Like it seems like somebody's staging, and maybe that could have been a slip up. But why would a kidnapper that's time is of the essence turn around and do that?
It's like they're used to it. It's like what's the thing called? It's like what is it when you're used to doing something that you used to locking the door, right? It's instinct. It's instinct, right? It's like like when you leave, you pull the door and lock it, So it could have been wow, that's crazy. Because there's no reason why the person would lock the door. How do they have the key to lock the door?
Well, see, so here we go. Since you have time, let's look at it because last night I was so tired I couldn't. I'm tired now, really.
Sorry.
But anyway, let's look at it, okay?
Okay.
At 1:47, the camera's disconnected.
Mm-hmm.
There's rumors, I haven't seen it officially, that her pacemaker spiked at either 2 a.m. or 2:10. I've heard those two times, right? And then also at 2:28, her pacemaker disconnects from her cell phone. Okay. Now,
Thank you.
from
Repetitive.
from from
Hey,
what's
Slick
that?
Rick. My friend Slick Rick is here.
Oh, okay. All
Slick Rick
right.
is called repetitive motion. Hey, Slick Rick. Thank you for being here. Go ahead.
Okay, so we know that the garage door goes up the night before when she's returned home by her son-in-law. Okay.
Mhm.
From what we understand is that the garage door was up 2 minutes. We don't know if he pulled the car into the garage because the camera was right there, but we haven't been blessed with the footage or not even a description that, hey, we saw her, he drove her in. Like all of this, the door went up in 2 minutes. You have a lady, the neighbor said that when she would walk to the mailbox, it would take her quite some time. She's bending over with a cane.
Mhm.
So in 2 minutes, she got out the car, she went in the house, and he backed out the garage, the door closed. Or when you look at her garage, there's an incline. So in order for her to go in through the garage, it would be a little bit more difficult, I would imagine. I mean, listen, if you have an elderly person, 84, and the garage is wide open on the left side, you would think the person would have dropped her off and let her, inside the garage is what I'm saying.
Okay. So,
So
so he,
think
he
so
let
it
her off and she had to walk up. That's what you're saying.
right. So if she's using that, right? Let's say the front door is locked, but
Hmm.
it's locked from the outside. So we're going to look at it critically, right? Why would you be in a house you and the gated door can only be locked from the outside allegedly, right? Why would you put yourself in that position for a fire hazard? So now you can only go out through the garage or through the back door. Why would you be in the house that way? But here's the point. If that gated door was locked from the outside and she always used the garage,
Hmm.
right? So she had it locked for her protection or whatever, then you could come to the conclusion that maybe the guy was in the house, did whatever he did with her, and then he had to go around the back and come around the front. And that's why he's addressing and putting himself on the camera because maybe he had her key and had to go unlock the door to get her out. You see what I'm saying?
Get her out to the front door because the car
Right.
is in the front.
So then that would explain why. Because think about it. If he went in through the back, he left the back door open and also the gate maybe for easement. Why go put yourself on camera? You see what I'm saying?
Hmm. Okay.
Right. So maybe I mean we don't know, but if that's the case, then that means the guy could have been there before 147 when we see him walking up. That may not have been his first point of contact. You see what I'm saying?
So he went through the house, and then after that, he went through because he already knocked her out, so he had to go through the front to bring her to the car that was in the front, not in the
And again, here's the other thing, right? That camera that points to the garage, I would imagine that camera would have picked him up walking as he's because the point of entry that he went in is actually by the garage. There's a gate there for the fence
front. Hmm.
that was propped open, and then also when they say the doors in the back, they're talking about a screen door and the door. So it's not like there's all these doors open. They're actually talking about screen door and the door together.
Hmm.
It's propped open by plants.
Okay.
Okay, so that makes sense that the person wants to maybe run out, or maybe did they leave the doors open for somebody else that was coming along, to have access or to lead them through. I
Hmm.
mean, these are all questions. I'm pretty sure the feds have an idea, but here's my issue. Brian Enton said that there were several cameras in the back of the house. The night of, they don't show any activity from anybody, but the nights before or days before, you see people on these cameras. And then the days after, when they're actually looking for Nancy, you see people on these cameras, but nothing the night of.
Well,
So why don't the cameras pick up the guy in the back of the house on the night of? Isn't that kind of strange? You see what I'm saying?
it's strange. The only thing is somebody shut off the cameras.
Yeah, there's a theory about the jammer, but to me that doesn't. Why is the front video so clear if he had a jammer? You see what I'm saying?
That's true. I don't know.
And then the neighbors, these jammers. I did some research. They don't just shut down the neighborhood. But the neighbors are saying, "Oh yeah, around that time of night, the jam, after the fact, people start coming up with all sorts of scenarios, and yeah, my internet went down or whatever. I don't put a lot of stock into that. And then sometimes in neighborhoods, when people go missing or things happen, you'll get a neighbor coming on the TV news and saying, "Oh yeah,
I
there was
saw,
a
yeah,
strange guy.
yeah.
I saw this guy. He had on a pink shirt." You know what I mean? Like,
They want to be
I,
part of
I'm
it.
not. I'm not saying it didn't happen, but I get a little suspicious, when people and then they come on TV and they have this whole storyline of what they saw, right?
It's true. It's true. And
So that's what I was saying. In order for this to be able to work so smoothly, look at all the things that had to have been in place. Number one, right? Let's go all the way back. Her dog died
wow.
back in December. They say that could be off a little bit.
Okay.
So that's a key ingredient because if her dog was still living,
With a
she
bop.
she probably would have been alerted because this guy's moving slowly. He's doing things, but if that dog is, you
Yeah.
know
With
what I
the
mean?
bop and stuff like that. Yep.
Okay, so the dog died. That's in hit. We'll give him a point for that. The dog dies, right? So that's a key ingredient. The camera on side of the house, the main camera he was able to shut down. She didn't have a nest plan. Give him another check for that. Like, what are the chances of that? And how would he have known that ahead of time?
Mm-hmm.
Right? What was that a factor? Even still, he didn't cover his mouth. He didn't cover his eyes. When you go to the airport nowadays, I fly so much. That what they're doing, they're taking photos of your eyes. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure
Yep.
the
They can help.
technology. So
Mm-hmm.
why would you risk? Look, he's looking right into the camera, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Originally, we heard there's no DNA. Then we heard, oh, there's mixed DNA. Now all of a sudden, we're hearing that there's a hair, but
Mm-hmm.
still, we don't have any conclusive idea of well, like what's really going on in regards to this guy, right?
Yep.
So there's just so many different moving parts. Even the way the next day materialized and how long it took for them to even realize that she's
Missing.
missing,
Mm-hmm.
right? So there's a lot of things that are just working in the favor of the
Of the
people or the
person. Yep.
person that took her.
Mm-hmm.
It almost make you think it's an inside job.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of people are saying that it's an inside job, but I don't know if the you see. I have no trust in the FBI, so I just gonna have to. We just gonna have to wait and see what happens because the FBI to me should already have this case wrapped up, like in my opinion. But of course, we have situations where people disappear and we never find out what happened to them, right? We know this, okay? But most of the time when that happens, the people left the house. It's very rare that you have a circumstance where somebody, well, they did kidnap the child from her room, and they never found out what happened to her. So, but in most of these cases where people are taken from the houses, right, it always deemed to be somewhat an inside job. It always deemed to be that.
Typically, the person that would have been the last one to see them. Now, in this case, the last person to see her probably would have been the guy that shows up in the middle of the night. But technically, from the standpoint of the family, it would have been the son-in-law. What's so weird about it when you go back to the earlier press conferences,
Hmm.
Sheriff Nanos, first he says her children dropped her off. Then he says the family dropped her off.
I heard the
Then,
Uber
then
dropped them off.
no, that's picking her up, dropping
Oh,
her
okay.
off, and then they landed on it was the son-in-law that dropped her off. So why is the sheriff kind of
Moving the goal.
hedging? He's kind of hedging. It's almost like he's playing for the home field when you really look at this case. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But here's the thing that I really got hung up on, but I could be wrong. I think one of the key things when they first said there was no DNA in the house, I said that might be indicative that whoever did this was an inside job. That's why there's no unfamiliar DNA, right?
Yep.
But now they're saying that there's a hair. Now that hair might come back to be, somebody that's in the family member or whatever. But that's what I was saying initially when they said that there was no DNA. It would have made sense that I thought maybe the guy that showed up at the door was just a ploy. It was all staged, and then maybe somebody else did it. More of an inside job. But to actually go and get her out, but then they say, listen, they have, I guess, stranger DNA in a hair, so maybe that's not
You would
valid.
think that if it was a family member DNA, they would have been able to resolve that quickly, right? They would have been able to
No,
test.
the family DNA would have it would have they have a reason to be there, so it wouldn't be questioned. You see what I'm saying? So that's the whole that would make sense. So I thought maybe a family member or some not just a family member, somebody went in to get her that had a reason to be there. But
Well, I'm looking into
but
the
but the sheriff has cleared the family,
yeah,
so I
including
guess
the
that's a
brother-in-law,
dead deal.
including the brother-in-law. So yeah, so
And they spent so much time talking about this glove that was out there on the street and so forth.
apparently
Uh,
he's a band member of a group called Early Black. So I don't
yeah.
know. Maybe he's very popular, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We're just gonna have to wait and hope and see what happens next. And
If you look at the guy, I actually showed everyone. If you really look at the guy, he has on the electrical belt, and very few people have picked that up. So I felt like the guy must have some electrical background, maybe an electrician. So
well, he if that's the case, then he would have known how to shut down the cameras, right?
yeah, it would make sense. So, but a lot of people are not really. I don't think many people are picking it up. But in between the gun and his hand, you can see an electrical belt, and I think that tells you something, right? And you know
Yes.
what? Also, there was an electrical permit pulled on her house maybe the month before, or the no, it was right before she went missing. So, I mean, listen, none of us are the detectives on the case, so we just have to see what happens. But there's just so much there. I did a breakdown last night, and I showed where. Well, I won't get into all that tonight. If you want to go back and check it out, it was on last night.
Well, I will definitely check it out. But I've been looking for something. So let's go back to the Diddy trial. I was looking for the word. It's called acquitted conduct. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have to go back. So
Okay.
if you guys remember what I'm saying, the defense is arguing that the judge used the acquitted conduct, that is the conduct that the jury found not guilty, as a reason to give him more time. And right now, the different courts are arguing right now whether a judge is allowed to use acquitted conduct, right? That is conduct or cases that jury found not guilty. That means the person is not guilty, as a reason or a mechanism I wouldn't say an example, but pretty much a criteria to add to the sentences to help them determine how many years a person gets. So I just want to make sure the word that I was using for is acquitted conduct, and they're still fighting. Now, the judge for the Diddy trial listed several cases in which the courts said that he could use, for example, different actions, right, in a case, even in the when it's acquitted, but different actions. For example, one of the things he used was the fact that after Cassie, right, after Cassie did the lawsuit, and he was found, we saw the video. It was after the lawsuit that the prosecutor decided that they were going to um, arraign him, right, for his conduct, right. So he already knew he was in trouble, right. So he should have been in his best behavior after that. After they said that they was going to have a case against him, he should have been in best behavior. But then that happened, that incident. The video came out in November. They decided to charge him in January. Even in that case, he had a horrible incident physical abusive incident with Jane in July of the following year, right? So the jury acquitted him allegedly from all the actions that they said against the women, right? So now they're saying that the judge used everything else, meaning the the traveling of the women and everything like that, and all of the traveling and everything was based on his relationship with the two women. So once the jury decided the women was lying because they found him innocent, the judge shouldn't have used any example, meaning the elevator video, the fight with Jane, any example. He should not have used any of that to add to Diddy's sentencing, and the judge disagreed. Because the judge is saying that you showed to be a violent person. You showed that you did not care. You did this and that. Even when you knew there was a case, you were under arrest. Even though you knew there was a possible trial, you still continue to do that action. As a result of that, I'm taking everything into consideration. Also, the probationary unit took all of that into consideration. They gave you 7 years. I'm not going to give you 7 years. I'm going to give you 5. Now, his defense is saying that with the Mann Act and this level, the most time they got was 1.5 to 3 years. And he thinks that the judge should not have used any of the acquitted examples, anything that had anything to do with the women, the fighting, the arguing, the elevator, anything should not have been considered, used, discussed, because the judge really went into detail of why he's giving Diddy. Because he said, even though you did this, but that's the thing that the appellate court was saying, and the defense try to accuse the judge for lying, because the judge says, even though you did that, I would have still give you the same time. That's what the judge said. Even though you did that, even though the law allows me to do this and that, even though I still will give you the same time. But they're saying that, oh, that's a lie. He still used the acquitted actions, right, to make his determination. The prosecutor was like, well, technically he said he didn't, but if he did, he could have, right? So I just want to make sure, look up acquitted actions. That's what everybody's fighting about. All right, thank you. Sorry about that. I just wanted to come back and make sure I got that in.
All right, very good. Anything else on Nancy Guthrie before we go?
No, I wish her. I don't think Nancy's still here. Apologies. I think that I'll be very surprised if she's still, still living. I just hope that the family find out exactly what happened and whatever happened to her, the person is brought to justice.
Right. Yeah. So, I want to show you that. Well, no, it's too late. I don't want to keep it any longer. I'll show it next time around.
What are you going to show me?
I wanted to show you my theory from last night. Give me 1 second if I could even find it. Oh man, what did I do with it?
Still have people here. As long as people are here, they still want to hear.
Yeah, I don't know if I could find it. What did I put it under? Okay, here we go. So
let me see.
I have to explain it first.
Okay.
Okay, so first I'm going to show you guys this video just to show you what's happening out there on the West Coast.
I get to the craziest story, though, I think, of the week. All this is crazy, right? But there was a home invasion that just happened. $11 million in crypto stolen in San Francisco. Mm-hmm. Now, when you realize who this is tied to, it's super sketchy. So the ex-boyfriend of OpenAI, Sam Altman, was the victim of this heist. Armed robbers posing as UPS workers knocked on the door of his San Francisco home, forced their way in, tied him up, and made him transfer $11 million in crypto. And it was all caught on his Ring doorbell. Let's watch this.
Yes, I have a pack for Joshua from Sanford.
Notice how the guy has gloves on similar to Nancy. The guy that took Nancy, he's trying to obstruct his face, very similar. Okay. All of this is key to this.
Community Plus, UPS partner.
Sound black.
Did you say partner? That's a sign right there.
So specific, right? UPS community partner?
Yeah, nope. Don't answer the door, dude.
I know. This made me want to get a Ring doorbell camera here.
Fully gloved in San Francisco?
Mm-hmm. Nope. With the hood up. Yeah, no. Yeah. If you see that, why are you opening the door, dude? What are you doing?
I never open the door for people. I'm the worst.
Oh, that's the way it should be. I live in an apartment building where people can buzz anybody in at any time. Yeah. There's always weirdos walking around here.
Don't do that. Let's want to skip a little. There we go. So
Yeah.
look at this.
Joshua? Yeah.
This is scary though.
Oh, my fault.
Yeah, so he's just asking him for a pen. He's like, oh, I forgot my pen.
Do you sign for this?
All right, here we go.
Damn. Do you have a pen? I gotta look for one. You got a pen? Yeah, I got you.
And that's where he forces it. Yeah. That's where he throws him on the ground and pistol whips him. Yeah, crazy stuff here.
Okay, so I played this video to show that out west, there's this epidemic where these gang members are, their main goal is to go after Bitcoin, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so my argument here is that maybe this wasn't really about Nancy, it wasn't about Savannah, it was more about Bitcoin. And so Bitcoin is the object, and then you're trying to find ways to get more Bitcoin. So I'm going to show you what happened on the same day Nancy went missing. Well,
Okay.
she went missing on February the 1st, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But the feds have already said that the night before, they felt like the perp was actually out there putting everything together, prepping. So the night before is when this story that I'm about to share actually happened. So this is happening the same, pretty much almost the same time as Nancy is going missing. These two teens from California,
Mm-hmm.
they have some unknown individuals, two individuals, prod them, give them $1,000 each to go down to Arizona, right, not far from Nancy.
Mm-hmm.
And they beat this couple, and they go to their house to get $66 million. Okay, so they're after Bitcoin. They go to this couple's home on the same day, same day pretty much as Nancy Guthrie, trying to get Bitcoin. So that's the key here. So my argument is maybe this is more about these gangs, because one of the common denominators here that people are saying is that whoever showed up at the door is not the same person that's probably writing the letters. So based on this theory, if you have individuals probably in another country, because that's why they want Bitcoin, because the Bitcoin is so, international, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're hiring local perps to go in and do the legwork. So let's take a look at this video, and you'll see what I'm trying to put together here. So let me show you this.
Characters known as Red and 8 allegedly sent Sullivan and Lapel messages on the app Signal, telling them to go to Arizona with funds to purchase supplies so they could.
So this guy's Red and 8. They contacted these two teens through Signal, paid them $1,000 each, and sent them to this couple's house to rob them for Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is the key. Remember in the first letter of Nancy Guthrie, they're asking for Bitcoin.
Yeah,
Okay,
I was about to say that. Yeah.
okay.
Pose as delivery drivers.
Two teens from San Luis Obispo County were arrested in Scottsdale, Arizona, accused of a home invasion and a plot to steal millions in cryptocurrency. News Channel reporter Jared Zinn is live in San Luis Obispo. Jared, investigators say these teens were recruited for this shocking crime online.
Good evening, Scott. That's right. One of the teens lives in SLO and attended San Luis Obispo High School. The other lives in Morro Bay. And the teens told Arizona authorities after their arrest that the two had only just met. Ari Parker lives in Scottsdale, Arizona. At first, he didn't think much of this blue car in the background of his Ring camera footage from Saturday.
I had no idea they were connected to the crime that happened here.
Just down the street, SLO County teens Jackson Sullivan and Skylar Lapel, disguised as delivery drivers, allegedly
So they have this package, right? And they're disguised as delivery. Yes. There's a mysterious package that shows up at Nancy Guthrie's door. And it's actually when I think Brian Enton films The Blood, you see this package there. So it just makes you wonder, we haven't heard any explanation. What could have been the outcome. What did they learn about this package? A mysterious package is almost like a similar common denominator.
Forced their way into a home. Investigators say they violently restrained 2 adults and demanded $66 million in cryptocurrency. A third resident.
So they wanted 66 million, right? Nancy Guthrie, 6 million. So you see, similar, right? Still similar.
Managed to call police.
The Bitcoin wallet included in the ransom note could offer some clues.
Once they take it off of Bitcoin onto another currency, it's at that very moment that even if it's on international territory, we'll still see it.
Okay, so the thing about Bitcoin is that somebody could be sitting in another country or they could be sitting in your backyard, but it makes it easy to, maneuver the money, right? So let me show you this other one here. Let's go. We'll just cover a few more. Let's see what this one is.
Worker disguises, a 3D printed gun, and a special phone.
3D printed gun, right? This mysterious gun that shows up with the guy at Nancy Guthrie. These guys, they bought all their items at Amazon. Okay, all right.
Used to take cryptocurrency. All laid out in these newly obtained court documents. A plan Scottsdale police say was carried out by 2 California teenagers, 17-year-old Jackson Sullivan and 16-year-old Skylar LaPale.
So let's break this down really quick, right? Let's take these 2 teens and put them in the place of Nancy Guthrie's abduction, right? Although they didn't have anything to do with it, it happens at the same day. So these guys are locked up at the time when it happens that night with Nancy Guthrie. So basically, it's only hours apart that this is happening, right? So it makes you wonder, how could this is a strange coincidence, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, in the letter, Harvey from TMZ says, once the ransom is paid, there's a 12-hour window the individuals that took her needed to get her back to Tucson. Okay, now keep in mind, these guys travel 600 miles. So it could have been a similar situation. Another question that a lot of the law enforcement has been asking is, why is this guy showing up on Saturday nights? He showed up on January the 11th, January the 24th, January the 31st, right? It would make sense if the person lives far away, has a normal life during the week, and then on the weekend, right, that's when they can break away, drive 200, 300 miles to come check out her place, go back home, come back the next weekend. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So more information seems to be jiving. It could be a stretch, but I'm just saying it's something that should be looked into.
Are both being charged as adults, facing charges from kidnapping to aggravated robbery. The documents claim both teens drove from California to Scottsdale, where they were reportedly told a couple there had $66 million in crypto. Buying zip ties, duct tape, and uniforms off Amazon, they went to the home on January 31st.
These guys have backpacks, and you see now they have a lot of things that go in your backpack to go and pull this off, right? When these guys get arrested, they run out the back door and they're able to go to their car. Now, one of the key details is that they were on the phone with these other guys that were coaching them through this entire event.
Wow.
Okay, so somebody's coaching them, saying do this, do that. When this couple, their son was upstairs and these teens didn't realize it. He called the police. The police get there. They run through the back. Now, keep in mind, if somebody's coaching them, remember Nancy Guthrie, the back doors are all left open, so the person could easily run out. That's what these guys did. They ran through the back doors. Their car was positioned through the back so that they could run, but they went down a dead end and got caught. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Pretending to be delivery workers. When the victim opened the door, they rushed in, reportedly assaulting the man, tying him and another victim up, demanding they give them access to their Bitcoin. When the victim denied having any, they continued the assault.
What the suspects did.
See, they're assaulting. I don't think teens would typically assault people, but if somebody's on the phone saying beat them, whatever, then they might go to these other levels, right? Okay.
Didn't know is the victim's adult son was also inside the home and called 911.
Officers arrived, seeing the victims tied up and the suspects run through the backyard.
They're tied up, right? These guys run through the backyard.
Get in their car and take off, leading to a police chase where the suspects went into oncoming traffic. It ended when the teens pulled into the shopping center and reached a dead end. Both were arrested.
All right, so that gives you an idea. I'll just play one more video here and we'll call it a night.
There's a lot of craziness happening in this world, boy.
It's been a long day, so let's cover one more. Here we go.
Crypto theft occurs online, but recently a violent gang has been breaking into houses and forcing homeowners to fork over their crypto. In one incident, the burglars assaulted a North Carolina couple in their home by pretending to be construction workers who needed to inspect local pipe systems. And after attacking the man...
So they're pretending to be construction workers, they're pretending to be mail delivery, you name it. Yeah, yeah.
And threatening to assault his wife, the men convinced him to open his Coinbase account. The burglars then worked together with online members of their gang to transfer $156,853 from their victim to various accounts before Coinbase froze additional transfer attempts. This was one of many of the home invasions they'd conducted, but the criminals overlooked how easy it can be to trace crypto. The government has developed advanced tools to chase digital assets across the internet. And the criminals didn't really bother to cover their trail all that well. One of the home invaders opened a Coinbase account with a government ID on the very day the home invasion took place. The Justice Department announced sentencing for a majority of the members of that gang, which the DOJ says stole over $3.5 million over 2 years, with one 25-year-old ringleader facing 47 years in prison.
So you see that there was one other, I thought that was a video. Hold on 1 second, let me try this one.
Good evening. Thank you for being with us live at 5. I'm Scott Hennessy. Beth and CJ are off tonight. 2 teens from San Luis Obispo County were arrested in Scottsdale, Arizona, accused of a home invasion in a plot to steal millions in cryptocurrency. News Channel reporter Jared Zinn is live in San Luis Obispo. Jared, investigators say these teens were recruited for this shocking crime online.
Good evening, Scott. That's right. One of the teens lives in SLO and attended San Luis Obispo High School. The other lives in Morro Bay. And the teens told Arizona authorities after their arrest that the two had only just met.
Ari Parker lives in Scottsdale, Arizona. At first, he didn't think much of this blue car in the background of his Ring camera footage from Saturday.
I had no idea they were connected to the crime that happened here.
Just down the street, SLO County teens Jackson Sullivan and Skylar Lapel, disguised as delivery.
Okay, so one of the videos I want to address D. Cran. What happened is Coinbase had information leak, and so that's how these criminals were able to find out who has Bitcoin, especially who has a lot of Bitcoin, and that's who they were targeting.
Drivers allegedly forced their way into a home. Investigators say they violently restrained 2 adults and demanded $66 million in cryptocurrency. A third resident managed to call police.
The police work was really impressive. They were pounding the pavement, doing old school gumshoe police detective.
So in the case of Nancy Guthrie, back in November, she came to town. She did this big tour and she says, hey, I'm Savannah, or in the case, the daughter, Savannah Guthrie, says, I'm Savannah and this and that. And her mother was there. They went to a restaurant. So it brought a lot of attention to both of them. So this could have been a indicator of what they could have had. And then shortly after that on Google, I think they said there was 2 searches. The first search was how much money did Savannah have? And the second one was where did her mother live? So even if there's a third party individual that's guiding this whole thing, they're contacting these local guys, whichever way they're doing it. Maybe the local guys look it up and say, okay, this is the assignment. Let me see, who is Savannah? How much money she got? Okay, where's the mother live? Okay, this is what we're going to target. You follow what I'm saying? So.
Work, knocking on doors, letting neighbors know what was happening.
The teens fled and after a pursuit hit a dead end and were arrested. Once in custody, the teens told Arizona authorities they had only just met each other.
Many of them have lived here for 15, 20 years, and they mentioned that this is the first time they could remember something like this happening.
Unidentified characters known as Red and 8 allegedly sent Sullivan and Lapel messages on the app Signal, telling them to go to Arizona with funds to purchase supplies so they could pose as delivery drivers.
It's certainly eye-opening, and it's also incredible the way that different pieces of evidence will be pieced together.
Officials at San Luis Obispo High School have confirmed that Jackson Sullivan was a student. From what we can gather online, he played sports and wrote articles for the student newspaper.
Okay, so there you have it. And then this is the final one right here. I'll just play that. I don't think
regular
I played
kids. They're getting regular kids.
Who is it? Just because someone knocks on your door doesn't mean you need to answer it right away. At least that's what neighbors in Scottsdale are advising others after a very scary situation. A Scottsdale neighborhood in disbelief.
I've been here quite a long time and nothing like this has ever happened.
32 years. That's how long this neighbor, who didn't want to give us his name, has lived in this quiet community along 96th Street and Sweetwater Ave. His house just 2 doors down from where the attack happened.
I'm not sure if it was a targeted incident or random or what.
2 teens are accused of dressing up as delivery drivers, knocking on the front door of this home once the door was open.
You notice how everybody was saying even the sheriff was Nancy Guthrie targeted, so they're using the same terminology here, targeted.
Police say they forced their way in, attacking the people inside. Investigators have identified the 2 suspects as 16-year-old Skylar LaPale and 17-year-old Jackson Sullivan. Police are recommending both teens be charged as adults. Police got to the scene fairly quick as the attack was happening. Investigators say officers heard a woman screaming and saw one of the suspects struggling with the man. At that point, the teens raced out of the back of the home. Police say they hopped in a car and sped off. Officers caught.
So you see with Nancy Guthrie, the person would have been able to, if the police came, would have been able to run right out the back. So seem to have some similarities, probably have nothing to do with it, but it's just a idea. But at any rate, it's been great to have this show. We've gone for a long time tonight.
Thank you so much for including and giving us this information. Every time you come on, there's a new idea when it comes to the Nancy Guthrie, new evidence. So that's amazing. Now, do you think that the front of that house is kind of similar to Nancy Guthrie house? When you look at the picture, is there any similarity with that?
A little bit, yeah.
But wow, they're turning a lot of these young people into criminals. So yeah, it's a lot going on. But thank you so much for showing us, and I will keep an eye on a Nancy Guthrie story, and I'm waiting to see what the DNA come out with. That's what I'm waiting for.
All right, thank you for being here tonight. You want to close out with some parting words?
Thank you everybody for being here. Please like. Did we get to 100 likes? If we didn't, please help us get to 100 likes. If not tonight, tomorrow, please watch. And thank you everybody for being here. It's been a very interesting show, as always. Thank you for being here.
Different voices, but the same song. Loving a world where we all belong. Kindness leading the way, breaking the chains. In the symphony of love, the flame remains. Embracing diversity, brighter days in sight. Watching the world sharing love and light. Hearts beating as one in our peaceful flight. Colors of harmony, painting the night. United we stand in love's pure might. Painting the night, United we stand in love's pure might.